Alrighty, so let's see. Let's see now. All right. Alrighty, we are live. We are live. All right. So we about time. We've been trying to get this, up and working. We're gonna see what happens here. I'm gonna have my good man John Opinion Sports on here. We're gonna get that settled. Just hang out for 1 second. Let's get him on here. Alrighty, so we got this situated now. We're gonna hopefully get Giant Opinion Sports on here, and we're gonna talk some Giants football. Now we do have the draft going on, obviously, which is why you guys are here. But I'm really excited. I am so excited to, finally be able to do a live stream for you guys on YouTube. Just due to the fact of you guys have been asking for this for quite some time. And, I'm really excited to do it. And speaking of the devil, we got
What's
Giant
going
Opinion
on?
Sports on here. We got Giant Opinion Sports. We are live, my man. How are you?
I'm great. Excited about the draft.
Me too, man. And I'm excited to finally have this thing running. Like I was saying earlier, you guys, if you guys were there, man, this was a little bit of a hassle, but you know what? We got this figured out. We're gonna be talking the draft. We're gonna give our thoughts on, obviously the Giants selection, who we think the Giants are going to take at 11. And then, we'll give our thoughts, when the Giants select whoever they deem, is worthy of that 11th pick. But, I wanted to get your opinion, man. What do you think? I think right now we're in a period of time where I haven't been this excited, for New York Giants football. I'm really excited, to see how the season plays out. But with how we executed in free agency, the Giants can go a multitude of different ways. Would you say?
I would. I think it's going to ultimately depend on the board.
Okay.
I think if there's a one of the top two tackles or top three wide receivers is there, that's probably the route they'll go. But they really have allowed themselves with all the signings to be able to just really go in any direction they want.
Absolutely.
And they could just go BPA if that's what they choose. But actually, I don't think that would be BPA as one of them top three wide receivers or one of them top tackles.
I agree with you there, man. I mean, I had, I had to take this L, and I was one of the very few people that thought the Giants should have taken Gregory Russo. This was prior, like I want to say, like before the season, like had officially ended, and then I did my research, and I was like, what the hell was I thinking? Having me us take Gregory Russo, I would honestly be mad if the Giants took him. I don't know about you, but I would
At 11,
personally
yeah,
be glad.
I'd be a little upset with that. Now, if they wanted to go for edge, I think Ojolari, Quiddy Pay, Jalen Phillips, one of them, I wouldn't be upset about. But yeah, I don't like Rousseau. I mean, I will say with his length and size, he's obviously has huge upside, but he just hasn't shown it on the edge. He can stand up and do it. He's probably maybe you could utilize him in some kind of a stunt, on stunt defense in third and long, but at pick 11, I think you're going to want an impact player, somebody to come in and instantly make an impact. So I wouldn't like the pick.
Nah, I wouldn't like it either, to be honest with you. And I do think that the potential is there, but there's just so many red flags with me with Gregory Russo to where it's like I don't see him really going in the first round, And I mean that's just me, but I think at this point you really can't go wrong in this draft. I mean, unless they take a quarterback, which they're not going to do, or they take cornerback or Gregory Rousseau. Other than that, you're not going to hear me complain. I'm excited. So, but look, I think honestly, I could see. I know we got a lot of ties to Devontae Smith, rightfully so. But for some reason, I woke up this morning saying that I think the pick might be Micah Parsons. I can't hold you. I can't hold you. I think it might be.
It wouldn't be shocking at all.
Man.
Them kind of athletic middle linebackers have been going really early. It also wouldn't surprise me if Micah Parsons is off the board by the time our pick comes.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I was definitely thinking that as well. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised either. I think a lot of people hold those allegations high, which I completely understand. But at the same time, it's like I don't know. I mean, I feel like a lot of people could change within 4 years, especially he was 17 and he's what 21 now, maybe about to be 21, and he has a kid. So I don't want to put all of that fully on him, and I think that he can mature and grow, and I don't think it really affected Yuta Gross Matos' draft stock that much. He still went in the second round of Carolina, so there's definitely some reason to think that it's possible that he could go within the first round. But I don't know. I really just would not want him on a team like Washington. And that's where he's currently getting mocked from what I've seen. And honestly, I think that'd be a good fit. I really think, Ron Rivera would want to go get himself a Luke Kuechly. But, for me, it's like, I
That'd be
just,
scary.
it would be. And I don't want that. I don't think anybody wants that. And, I'm okay with him going anywhere besides the Washington football team. That's just my opinion. But, we got to see what they do. I really just, I don't know how this draft is going to play out. I feel like the Bears may trade up. I feel that New England may possibly trade up. So I really do think that the Lions are going to trade out of that pick. I just have a strong feeling that they're going to do that.
Oh, you think the Lions are going to trade back?
Yeah, I think the Lions and I think Atlanta possibly, but for some reason I have them staying at 4, taking Kyle Pitts.
Oh yeah, but if you got a chance to get Pitts, why would you trade that?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And
I mean,
Lions got a chance to get Jamar Chase, right?
They do. If Miami doesn't take him, which I mean that's possible, they could go the Penny Sewell route if Cincinnati Bengals don't pick him up, which I think that'd be solid for Miami. But nah, I don't think he should go past 4. I think that'd be a perfect fit. They're trying to get rid of Julio Jones. He's costing a lot against their cap, so I think they're trying to clear up some cap. But we got the first
Atlanta's
pick
in a
going
weird
on.
spot. It's on the clock.
Yep. So the Jaguars just selected Trevor Lawrence. I don't think we should be surprised there.
Surprised. I'm not a fan of him, by the way. I'm not
really. Okay, I gotta hear why. Tell me why, because I think he's a monster. But I really want to hear what you guys say.
I don't. First of all, I don't like his deep ball. It's really floaty. It's like moon ballish, and that's the same kind of. We've seen players with that kind of deep throw have trouble. Dwayne Haskins, and you can go back even further. But take away his screens, the screen throws that he had at Clemson, and he's pretty average. He also gets stuck on his first read quite often. You watch a lot of him. So I think he's going to have problem translate. I just don't think he's going to. I think he'll be a good quarterback. I don't expect him to come in and just be a killer from day one.
Oh, I don't think that either. I'm not fully sold on Jacksonville as an organization to where I think he could succeed. I mean, we're going to see with Urban Meyer, but you know what? I think you make a good point, and I could understand that. I could really understand that, and I mean, I said this in my last video. I don't like when these analysts come out and say he's a not just Trevor Lawrence, because I think that he possibly could be a generational talent. But I don't like how these analysts every year, this player is a generational talent.
Yeah, now there's 6 generational talents in every draft.
Exactly. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just like, okay, at some point somebody's lying here, and it's just ridiculous.
In my
I,
life, I
I
can only think of a few generation talents, maybe 5 or 6 in my life that I got to see.
yeah, no, I mean, to be honest with you, there's very few that I can name, and it's like Saquon Barkley for me was definitely in that category, but I got to see how he comes back from this injury. I got to be honest with you.
He's
I
got to show
really,
it.
yeah, because the potential is there. I think that when healthy, he is the best back. I know that's a little bit biased considering
No, I
how
don't.
well Derrick
I
Henry's
don't
played.
think it's biased at all, to be honest with
But oh, you know, man, the amount of people I've gone back and forward with about this, it's ridiculous. Which I get, Derrick Henry is a beast, but I don't know. I feel like if Saquon had a line like that, boy, that man would be even more dangerous than what he is right now.
you. I mean, you want to hear the truth about Saquon Barkley? Go talk to Eagles fans. They're gonna tell you he's the best. You know, a lot of them are Penn State fans. I can actually see the stadium outside my window, but they're gonna tell
Oh my
you what Saquon Barkley is, and they're obviously they got to face him twice a year too. So if you want to hear a legit opinion, go ask an Eagles fan. They'll let you know.
Oh, and you know something? I at the time, this was 2018. One of my closest friends at the time, he was an Eagles fan, and don't know how that worked out, but we ended up being friends for like 5 years prior to that. But you know, I remember him saying, "Oh, I want Saquon Barkley. I want Saquon Barkley." And I'm like, "Oh, we're at two, so you know that's it's not gonna happen." And you know, I remember when the Philadelphia Eagles selected Miles Sanders, and he decided to choose the number 26. I saw a lot of Eagles fans, especially under Nitro Freaks' channel, saying we got the next Saquon. I'm sorry, Miles Sanders is not the next Saquon Barkley. I
Oh,
don't I
you're
don't
always
care what
gonna get
anybody says.
that kind of stuff from people.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna get
It's
some people like
ridiculous.
that in every fan base.
Yeah, it's honestly ridiculous, but it's like, what do I know, right? I'm just a guy on YouTube. I'm just a guy on YouTube. What can I say? But I'm
Honestly,
really
when
excited.
it comes to prospects, it's all just opinion. These guys can go either way.
Oh, 100%. And that's what honestly I feel like a lot of people get married to a certain prospect.
Mm.
And if that prospect is not the one that we select, it's a big issue.
Right.
And to me, it's ridiculous. I mean, I think that we got to give these players a chance. We booed Daniel Jones before he took it down, so we're gonna
I gotta
see.
be honest with you, I was pretty pissed off when we drafted Daniel Jones too. I was mad because from all it was just because of what I was hearing. It's because I
Mhm.
was uneducated, to be honest with you. Like I had heard that he was going to be a possible beginning of the second round guy. So I was pretty upset when it happened. But then, because I really wasn't that invested in watching too much film. I catch maybe a game or two of college, every weekend. So I never really got
Mhm.
nobody's. Duke's not going to be on CBS or ABC or
Yeah, no, it's just
so.
not gonna happen.
But when I watched the film on him, I liked them instantly. I gotta be honest with you, like I overly evaluated him. I think I was more in line with like Fist Vegas. I thought he was going to be Peyton Manning, just the way he moved and the way he
Oh
uses his
yeah,
legs. Like
I
I
think
kind
it's
of
still
over.
possible. I really do. I sound crazy, but I really do think that it's still possible
Well, I don't
that
think it's
he
possible he
could.
could be Peyton Manning.
I don't know about Peyton Manning, to be honest with you. I don't want to go that far. But I think that honestly, okay, I don't want to say because I feel like a lot of people give Matt Ryan a bad rep. I could see him having a better career than Matt Ryan. I could
He
see him,
is Matt Ryan.
and that was his comp. I remember people saying
Like they
he's
are
going to be
like
Matt Ryan.
throwing lines. They are the same player, like just identical.
No, it's like
They eerily move the same. They eerily throw the same. The only difference is Daniel Jones could run like 21 miles an hour.
yeah, it's sometimes trip, but but man, let me tell you something. The amount of videos I had people send me of Daniel Jones tripping as memes. We still scored on that touchdown. I don't know
Yeah,
why. I mean, on that run. On that drive, excuse me. I don't know why people were trying to give us slack for that, considering that 90% of the league's QBs can't run that far, man. 80 yards ain't no joke. All
yeah.
right, we got the Jets. They selected Zach Wilson. No
Wow.
surprise there. No, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, everybody thought it was going to happen. It's just, I don't know. That's weird.
honestly, man, I don't think that Sam Darnold was the issue. I really don't.
No,
And
I do think he was.
I always thought it was the coaching. I think he has certain issues, but I don't think he was the main issue.
Well, he
But
never
we'll
had
see
a
how he does with
chance.
Drew.
Don't get
Never,
me wrong.
not under
Sam Darnold
Adam,
never
not
had a
under Adam
chance there.
Gase.
Never had the line. He had no receivers. He never had a chance. But I do think he could have showed a little bit more on tape. Yeah,
Yeah,
spectacular.
I mean that I definitely agree with you there. I guess it's just more of like, look, like we a lot of people thought that Ryan Tannehill was going to be a bust when he was in Miami with Adam Gase, and then Adam Gase leaves. Ryan Tannehill prior gets traded, and Ryan Tannehill looks pretty solid over there in Tennessee. Now I'm not saying that's going to happen with Sam Darnold, but I think that he could at least be fairly decent.
Yeah,
You
you know
know,
what
if
though? I think Tannehill looked pretty good though in Miami. The problem was there is he could never stay healthy. But when he was
yep.
playing, he did look at least decent. Like you could say, all right, we could win with this guy. We'll put a team around him.
And Miami has talent too. I lived down there, and I've been to a couple Dolphins games, and it's like Miami has talent down there, and really what they needed. And my honest, they needed a coach, and that's I love what Brian Flores is doing for the Dolphins. I really love what their general manager is doing because he is just collecting pick after pick after pick, and you got to be happy if you're a Dolphins fan. But hopefully, Joe Judge can, which I think he has already changed the Giants and changed this culture. But hopefully
Absolutely.
Joe Judge can come in and really be that staple that we think that he can be. I'm sold on him. I think he'll be a Giants coach, for a long time.
I do think a lot of the culture has to do with Joe Judge, but I think a lot of people also skip over Dave Gettleman. He deserves some credit for the culture because it started by
Yeah.
weeding out a lot of the players that were a problem in the locker room over the years, the first couple of years, and just and really focusing in on players that were high character guys coming out of college. It seemed like that was a main focus. So Joe Judge
Mhm.
stepped kind of into the perfect situation to where he could, you know, create a culture like that because he could have went somewhere where they had veterans and they weren't going
Oh,
to kind of like
absolutely.
how Tom Coughlin did when he came over to the Giants, the original. He had fights with all the players because they had their way, they had their culture from
Mhm.
Fossil, and you know what I mean. It was just a fight all the way. So Judge was lucky to have high character guys. All the problems were shipped out. It was a young team, so they're going to more listen in. And let's be honest, he brought over Logan Ryan, a couple players that were his guys. They're New England guys, and it really was like it was perfectly done. It perfectly worked out. I'd say. I think Dave Gettleman deserves some credit though for the players he brought in.
Yeah, I'm there with you, man. I have never been. Well, let me not say never. I don't like the bad rep that Dave Gettleman gets. I've bashed Dave Gettleman for making silly decisions like signing Jonathan Stewart, getting Patrick Omame, bringing in Alec Ogletree. Those things, it's like okay, I get it, but I can't.
You
I'm
know what
not
the
going to
Jonathan?
sit
Hold on,
here.
I don't want to cut you off, but you know what the
Yeah.
Jonathan Stewart signing was about, right?
No. What would you say it was
Well,
about?
Jonathan Stewart was brought in to tell him who to come out and tell him who the hell the problem was in the locker room. I don't think that's a very big secret. He was brought in and he was paid just to go in and say who's the problem. That's what I
That would
believe
make
anyway.
sense. I mean, no, I never thought about it that way, but I mean, he was a Dave Gettleman guy, and I could really see that, and I agree with you 100%. He did have to weave out, the players that we had here, and I think that it ended up working out. Janoris Jenkins, he was getting into some beefs with the media. He was, getting into throwing footballs into the stands because the media was saying that he hadn't really locked down a wide receiver. This was like 2 years ago. He also had when he got cut last year for calling someone the R word. So it's like we had to get rid of players like that. Olivier Vernon. As much as I love Snacks Harrison, the contract just wasn't there for me.
His
And
knees were gone.
oh yeah, oh yeah, you saw that
Yeah,
with
I'm surprised
Detroit.
they even got a pick for him because they were saying that there was reports. I think there were later like multiple reports that came out. It's true that last year that Snacks was in the Giants, he was basically having to sit out all the practices just to play Sunday, just to play the game.
God,
Apparently, he has like no cartilage in his knees. His knees are gone.
God,
So,
I wouldn't
bravo
be
for even
surprised.
getting a pick with that contract. Bravo for getting a pick.
Yeah, I mean, bravo for that. Bravo for getting a pick for Eric. Excuse me, not Eric Flowers, Eli Apple. There's a lot of things I gotta really give Dave Gettleman credit for. And look, I wasn't one of those Giants fans that was upset when OBJ got traded, And I mean, I was a little upset, but I'm not gonna act like I was over here crying my eyes out because I did see some Giants fans actually cry. And I'm just like, okay, like I don't think it's that serious, but it ended up working out. And I think that if the Giants can land one of these top Bama wide receivers, I think that adding one of those wide receivers plus Kenny Galladay on the outside, that should more than make up for the production that OBJ had when he was on this team.
I was a defender of OBJ, and everybody was telling me, no, he's not a team guy. He don't care about the team. He's all about himself. And I argued, and then I saw that Panthers game, him or the Josh Norman. It's just like
Yeah,
every play. We really should have won that game, or it should have been a lot closer. But because of OBJ, every play, something back tripping.
yeah.
We lost that game, and he obviously did not care about whether we won or lost that game. It's all about him. That's when I kind of started my eyes
No,
open
I agree. I
about.
mean, I never questioned his talent, and you know, there were certain antics for me that I didn't really consider them as antics. I saw it as a player really just wanting to win because
Yeah,
I
passion.
was getting frustrated watching the Giants play. From 2000 and really honestly from 2016, though we went to the playoffs, the offense was frustrating. The offense was really frustrating, and just after that, it was just so frustrating watching the Giants play. And man, how far we've come. And it doesn't seem that way, but to me, like how far we've came as an organization from those days. God, man, it's a completely different team. It's a completely different culture. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that everything was changed in 1 year, but the energy feels different, man. I feel more confident with Joe Judge than I ever have with Ben McAdoo or Pat Shermer.
It does feel different, don't it?
Yeah. And we have the pick for the 49ers, and they
Mac
are
Jones.
selecting Trey Lance out of North
Whoa!
Dakota. That's
Whoa!
insane.
That one I didn't see coming.
I did not see that coming. I really did not. I really thought they were getting Justin Fields.
I thought it would be Mac Jones.
Wow.
I didn't
Wow,
really.
that was a shot.
I didn't watch the quarterbacks a lot because obviously we're not going for quarterback.
Yeah.
But I got to be honest with you, the one I liked the most was Mac Jones.
Yeah, his tape is really nice. And I think that I honestly thought that he was a great fit for the 49ers. He reminds me of a better Matt Ryan. I really do think that. I
No,
think
he
that
reminds. Honestly, I've never said this about any other player. He reminds me of Tom Brady. The way they move, the way he operates is the only quarterback I've ever seen similar to Tom Brady.
you know what? I like that. I like that. I like that comparison. I like that.
I'm telling you, watch when he moves, watch his tape, and then just think Tom Brady. Whoa, what the hell is going on here?
What happened?
Yeah,
Everything good? Oh, okay, okay, good.
I like Mac Jones at everybody.
Now it makes me wonder who's going to come up and select Mac Jones.
Well, that would be a match made in heaven if he finds his way to win.
Yeah, if he makes his way to New England, I think that's possible. I just worry about if a team like Washington trades up because he would be a great fit in Washington, and they need a quarterback.
Oh, that would be miserable. Not be happy.
I would not like that. I would not like that at all. I'd like. I mean, that's good. That would be good for them, but for us, nah, I don't like that at all. I mean, I think a lot of people underestimate Washington. I mean, but hey, they ain't beating us, so I ain't got no issue.
So San Francisco gets a new North Dakota assassin.
Yeah, he. I mean, man, he will do. I think this was the safe pick here, right? Because they did state Jimmy is our guy. They don't want to get rid of Jimmy. I don't expect Trey Lance to come in and play his first year. If he does, I can see it towards the ending of the year. I think that because the Shanahan scheme is it's no joke. I mean, I've heard people say that it's one of the hardest schemes to learn in the NFL, and he's only had 1 year starting. So I think that putting him behind Jimmy G He's not a terrible quarterback. He could go win you some games, but I think that I thought this was a good pick. This works for the 49ers because it sticks true to what they said. Jimmy's the guy. You don't got to rush Trey Lance in, but you got your guy for the future. So I
10
like
years
it.
ago, I'm right there with you. But it just seems like the last few years, if you're a top 15 pick, you're going to see the field in your first year.
Oh yeah,
You know,
absolutely. Yeah,
he'll be.
look. I'm there
I'd
with
put
you.
money on it. He's a starter at least by week 8. I'd put money.
I could see if he does start, depending how well the 49ers are playing, because I don't believe in the Cardinals. I really don't. I do not believe in the Cardinals. Seattle, Russell Wilson's going to be Russell Wilson. And LA, they look like they could really do something in that division. I actually have them winning the division. But I mean, the 49ers, I think that this would be a solid fit for him, but I could see him, depending how the team plays out, I could see him towards the end of the year just getting him some reps like Patrick Mahomes and Alex Smith almost.
Yeah, yeah. I guess at the end of the day, what you take one of these guys and you don't really know what they're going to be. Just coach them
Yeah.
the best you can and take a chance. So who's on the clock now?
Uh, we got Atlanta. They're still here. There's 5 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock.
Atlanta.
Uh, Yeah, I mean, I've been getting notifications on my phone, and I'm just trying not to look because when I looked down was when I saw Trey Lance was getting picked,
Yeah.
and there was still 2 minutes left on the clock on my screen. So yeah, I'm trying not to even look, man.
Well, San Francisco did a good job of not leaking that out because everybody was talking Justin Fields,
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones. I was sold on it was Mac Jones because when the Shanahans were over in Washington, they didn't want RG3. That was what all came out. Yeah,
Yeah,
the ownership stepped in and forced them to take RG3. And then you
yeah,
can kind of see the route they wanted to go. Their pick was Kirk Cousins later on in the draft. So I think that Kirk Cousins kind of player is more what they want for their system rather than the athletic running back.
yeah. And you make a great point there because coaching and management were definitely undecided on who they felt should be the starter. And I genuinely felt that with how well Kirk Cousins played when RG3 went out, RG3 really tried rushing himself back in, which ultimately ended up hurting, his career, in my opinion, because I think if he would have stood out a little bit longer, get the proper rehab, take a little bit of time, I really do think that, he would have still remained the starter. They traded a fortune to go get him.
Yeah.
I don't see I don't know. I mean, we'll never know. It's unfortunate, that he's right now a second string quarterback because the potential was there. But I agree with you. I really do think that's a great fit. That is a great fit for them. And if that's the direction they wanted to go for, I think that they chose right.
Trey Lance has huge upside, but we haven't seen him in 2 years. I don't know. I think it's a ballsy pick. I mean, good on them. They got
It's a
the
ballsy
guy they
pick.
wanted. Because I know Shanahan's his clock's going to start ticking after this year. Like he's going to have to win. That's a tough division. Win.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sold
Yeah.
on Arizona, but I think they're a really good team. I think they could easily make the playoffs. They could easily not. But yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
not
not
as sold on
sold
the
on the
Rams as you are. It seems like every other year they're good. So, I've never been sold on Stafford. I think he's a good quarterback. They try and make him out to be a great elite one.
Mm.
You know what? I think this year will be where the answers where they are. What he is because he's in a good system. He's surrounded by good players. Let's see. You ain't got no excuses like you did in Detroit.
No, no, absolutely. I mean, my only thing. So with Jared Goff, right? I was never sold on Jared Goff. I always thought he was going to be above average, but it just seemed that with the kind of system that Sean McVay likes to run, with it being run pass, there's a lot of different confusions going on. I just felt that he wasn't the necessarily the perfect fit for that scheme. I think he'll do decent in Detroit, but at the same time, when has Detroit really done anything with their players? And
Well,
it's like,
they've done a horrible job of bringing in the coaches.
Oh yeah, I think they fired Jim Caldwell after having a good season.
Yeah, that made no sense.
It made no sense whatsoever, and it's like I have to hope that Sean McVay would get more out of Matthew Stafford than Jim Caldwell or Matt Patricia. I don't think Matt Stafford is an elite quarterback, but I do think that it's an improvement over Jared Goff. Um, I like Arizona offensively. I'm just not sold defensively on them. I like JJ Watt, but JJ Watt old, man.
I wasn't
JJ
sold on
Watt old.
defensively either until I saw what they did to the Giants last year. That really took me back.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that had to do with Marcus Golden, though. And honestly, that was the only game where I actually really looked at Joe Judge and like questioned from last year because you got to change your signals. You got to
Yeah.
change your calls up for that game. If that's what you got to do all week. You got to start doing that 2 weeks before. That's what you do. But you can't go out there with the same signals, the same calls. Obviously, he was gonna. He didn't like the whole situation being brought back on that weird contract to begin with. Then he gets traded.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, but
I'm there
I,
with you.
they showed me something right there. I like their scheme. After the first year of Kyle Murray,
Mhm.
I was kind of like on the fence about him, but then last year he really had moments. And
Yeah, no.
when you got a young player, that's what I look for. I look for moments. Like big.
No, I definitely see that. Oh, we got Atlanta on the clock. Hold on. They select.
I think it's Pitts.
It is. They selected Kyle Pitts. Kyle
Good,
Pitts out of Florida. That's
good for
good. That's a good fit for Arizona. Excuse me, for Atlanta.
yeah.
I honestly, I thought that they would trade down. But you gotta love this for Arizona. I keep saying Arizona. Oh my god, you gotta love this for Atlanta. Um, it makes me wonder what they're gonna do with Julio Jones. To be honest with you, I know that if they trade him after June 1st, it's a lower cap hit. Because if they trade him prior, it's like a $21 million cap hit.
Ooh.
Julio Jones.
Oh, I was just saying that hurts, man.
Oh yeah. Julio, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of money to trade for a 32-year-old injured wide receiver, but that's still Julio Jones. So that it kind of makes me wonder what are they going to do with him because they just got Jalen Hurt. I keep Jaden Hayden Hurt, excuse me, from the Ravens last year, and he did pretty well out there at Atlanta. So very interested to see what happens here because I don't think that he's just your average tight end, which everybody knows he's not. But
If I'm
you know,
Atlanta, the only way I'm trading them is if we draft a quarterback this year. You got Matt Stafford, you got Julio, that you still owe him all this money. I'd give him one last go. I'd give it one last go
yeah,
at it. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I would do. I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't do it. Now, if you go out next year and you get yourself a quarterback, which is possible, if Stafford can't stay healthy or has a bad year, that would be the route to go.
yeah. I mean, my only thing I guess was like they right now have some cap issues. So they are going to try to look to get rid of, who's going to be the highest cap hit. And they can't, unfortunately, get rid of Matt Ryan due to his contract. But I think that Julio Jones would have more market value than Matt Ryan. I think that maybe like a team like the Baltimore Ravens, which I don't think it would be the best fit considering that they're more run first than they are pass heavy. But
Yeah.
I think he would do great there. I think that he would do great on New England, but I don't see it happening, and it's really unfortunate because I think that Julio Jones deserves better than that, man. I mean, that man is a beast, and when healthy, top three in my opinion.
I
But
think you can scratch New England off the list. The amount of money they put into wide receivers is obviously.
yeah,
I can't really think of anywhere to go. I'd like to see him go to Green Bay. That'd be fun to watch him and
that
Devontae
would
Adams.
be. Whew. But let's be real, man. Green Bay ain't gonna do nothing. They're not gonna go provide that man with weapons. And it's so frustrating because any other organization I feel that would have the talent of Aaron Rodgers would say, what do you need? Like what can we do? Like what do you need to succeed? I needed an offensive line. Okay, we'll work towards that. What else do you need? Like that. And it just seems like look, I wonder how the Packers feel knowing that they wait. I feel they wasted their first round pick on Jordan Love. Obviously, they don't. But you do that, and your current quarterback goes and has an MVP season.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, this is the same thing that was happening when they drafted Aaron Rodgers, though.
oh
They
yeah, 100%.
they drafted Aaron Rodgers, and Brett was going nuts. He was going off every year, even though he was like doing that whole retirement thing. And
Yeah,
reports were Aaron Rodgers was horrible in practices his whole first year. He just looked awful. And it's like the same. It's deja vu over there. It's like there's reports that Jordan, right? Jordan Love
yeah.
looks awful. He can't hit the broadside of a barn. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see the reports. What's on the clock now, Miami?
The Bengals. I saw who they selected
Bengals.
just now, actually.
They take a
So
tackle or a receiver?
they took Jamar Chase,
Of course.
which that to me was a typical Cincinnati pick. Let's not go protect Joe Burrow.
Well, that's good for the Giants. This is a better chance of a tackle getting down to us.
Yeah, but then it's like, how far does Penny Sewell go?
So who's on the clock now?
So the Bengals are on the clock. I just know because I got the notification.
Oh,
This is
okay,
like,
okay.
This is like behind by like a minute.
Okay, I got you.
But yeah, no, it's I like it. I like it for Joe Burrow, but
I think it's a
I
horrible
hope
pick.
I'm there with you. I'm there with you because you better hope that offensive line holds up for Joe Burrow because he's coming off an ACL injury in his first season as your quarterback.
They brought in Riley Reef. I've been talking to Bengals fans online. They really think Riley Reef is going to make a difference.
You know what? Don't even entertain it at this point. If that's what they're happy with, let them be happy, man.
He's a great player, but these tackles, you don't want to start looking at the second, third round for a starting tackle. You don't even want to be sitting like Miami last year. They got like Austin Jackson, like that
Yep.
back end of the draft. You don't want to have to keep wheeling that out there and protect the quarterback. That's not a good situation. Now they made it work over there, but that's the rarity.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel that they didn't need wide receiver. Tyler Boyd looks pretty solid for them. They just got T. Higgins last year who played solid for them as well. And their offensive line was trash. And this is why the Bengals
are
the
be interesting.
Yeah, how many times he's going to get sacked? Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting how well he does because, Giants fans have been crying about this every time we take an offensive lineman and, we got no receivers. Well, let's see what happens when you take all the receivers. You take all the receivers and they just kind of forget about O-line. We'll see how that works out.
I would rather have no receivers and a good O-line than a bad O-line and no wide receivers. Point example, Kansas City Chiefs.
Example, every example in the history of NFL. if you don't have an O line or D line, you're not going to.
No, you're definitely right, but it's like I feel sorry for him. I mean, good for Bengals fans, but I feel sorry for Joe Burrow, man. I really do because they needed someone to come in there and protect Joe Burrow. That's your franchise guy, and you passed up on an opportunity to get an actual generational talent at offensive line, which isn't too common.
Well, they were saying that 2 years ago. I don't know. They're not saying it now. I don't think the generation stuff.
I mean, we're gonna see.
Guys.
We're gonna see. I know a lot of people are, they're saying that not Penny Sewell. Rashawn Slater is now looking like he could have a higher upside. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I would have went tackle if I'm Cincinnati, but look, the Bengals are gonna do what the Bengals do. Yeah, and they're talking about it on the media right now. He was hit 73 times during the 2020 season prior to his injury. That's insane. That's insane. How do you get hit 70 times before you get injured, which you didn't even get injured late in the season?
It's called being Daniel Jones.
Yeah. I'll just say, at least he's never done anything. Knock on wood. He hasn't got injured like that, but it's like, I get it. That's your best friend. That's someone that you went to college with. There's rapport there. Pick up the offensive tackle, and it's not even me trying to be greedy to have one of the wide receivers fall. It's not. It's just a matter of you need to protect your franchise players, and going out there and getting a luxury pick, which is what Jamar Chase is, in my opinion. I mean, good for you, but you better hope that offensive line really stays stout because you don't know the next time you're going to be in this position again. You don't know how the offensive line class is going to look next year. So we'll see. We'll see. But
I think.
now I think I didn't mean to cut you off. What you say?
Oh, I was saying that the quarterbacks that we've seen come in straight from college and have the biggest impact were on ready-made teams. Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Of course,
Man.
they got picked towards the end of the draft, but I think there is a question about quarterback. Do you have your offensive line first before you draft a quarterback, or do you just take the great prospect when you get the chance? Take it, work it. And I think a lot of prospects get killed by going that route, by just taking the quarterback, just take the guy, and then they don't have any kind of a chance, any kind of team around them. It's like it could be a killer. It be a killer for these quarterbacks. And Joe Burrow, outside of a few games against bad teams, was very average. I know everybody was
Yeah.
hyping him up, but he was very, very average. It was kind of like Daniel Jones's rookie season. If you take out the big games he had, against weak teams, what you're left with is average.
Yeah. Nah, that's a good point. I mean, I I have never really been. Oh wow, okay. I just saw who the Dolphins picked.
Jamar
Wow.
Chase.
No, the Bengals picked Jamar Chase. The
Oh no,
Dolphins.
I meant the other way. I meant not Devontae Smith. Oh, Waddle. Was it Waddle?
Yeah, they just picked up Jalen Waddle.
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of where I thought.
So two good offensive tackles just fell.
Yep.
What do the Giants do? Wow.
I'm
Wow.
still not sure if one of them tackles is there. I think at least Sewell's up. But if Slater
Man.
is there at 11, you run and you take him. That's my opinion. And you let him and Matt Peart battle it out at right tackle.
Yeah.
Whoever loses gets kicked inside. And I've argued with Giants fans about Matt Peart. I watched every single one of his games at UConn, and they were running a weird offense of UConn, and Peart would constantly pull, and he can do it. I know he's longer than most guards, but I know he can kick in and be a very good guard.
Yeah. We're gonna see. I mean, Miami's another team that I really thought was gonna go tackle as well. I knew at first I thought they were gonna go wide receiver, but then they trade Eric Flowers. They kick one of their tackles to guard. Kind of made me feel okay. Penny Sewell might be a good option here, but now it's like, where does Penny Sewell go? Carolina? Maybe
Yeah,
Dallas if he falls that far, which I doubt.
Dallas. If I'm Dallas, yeah, I'm running. That would be my number one goal is to get a tackle. That Tyrone
Yeah.
Smith is getting older, and it's about time. He's been hurt constantly for the last 2 years. They
Yeah.
need to start revamping an offensive line. What was it? The one guy retired.
Yeah, I know. His name isn't coming to me right now, but I know who you're talking
Was it
about.
Travis Frederick or whatever?
Travis Frederick. Yeah, Travis Frederick.
He
Travis
retired.
Frederick.
They're just beat up over there. Go look at them last year. Their offensive line was the problem. Other than
Yeah.
Shaq, obviously getting flicks. Their defense was
Honestly,
horrible, but on offense, their offensive line was horrible.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And honestly, I just gotta hope it works. At that point, you just gotta hope it works. I mean, my only concern with how this draft is going right now is if Detroit, which I could see them doing it, if Detroit takes Devontae Smith, I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants go and take a Micah Parsons. And that's what I said. I woke up this morning feeling like he was the pick. But we'll see.
I like Michael Parsons. I wouldn't be mad, but I'm not like, oh no, need to have him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
before
No,
any players are taken.
no.
Who was the one middle linebacker? Isaiah Simmons. I hated. I got old shitty videos, bad videos on. I'm sorry, on my
Oh,
on my
you could
channel,
curse. You're
but
good. You're
I
good.
really did not like Isaiah Simmons. I thought he'd be much better at like a outside, weak side linebacker. I just was not feeling. And Giants fans were attacking. Man, some people, when I was arguing against people, like they're like, "What's your address? I'll show up to your house." You know, we're gonna.
I actually wanted Isaiah Simmons. I understood getting offensive tackle. But I was one of the fans that did want Isaiah Simmons. I thought that, he could really fit well in this defense for what we saw Patrick Graham do in Miami. But I'm not disappointed that they took an offensive tackle. I thought they needed to take an offensive tackle. And I'm not upset. I'm really excited to see how Andrew Thomas plays out because I think that he will be a good tackle, and I think that within the next 10 years, we'll see. We'll see how, the rest of the offensive tackles pair up, with Andrew Thomas in his draft class. But I'm sold on Andrew Thomas. I know a
I
lot of
like him
Giants
too.
fans are.
I like him too. It was rough early, but he was.
Yeah, which
And I think
I
a lot of it
expected
was the
that.
turmoil with the turmoil with the coaches. You got your head coach and your O line coach bickering with each other for technique, and that's not helpful for him. He's just thrown into it without it with an irregular off season, all the stuff that happened.
Yeah, no, I mean, when you switch your offensive line coach and you're transitioning from the NFL, excuse me, from the college to NFL, it's not easy. And I expected Andrew Thomas to come in and be a little bit slow, pick up how the NFL is, considering that there was no preseason. But I'm not upset. I'm not upset at all.
I see. I never. My favorite out of it because I knew the Giants would take attack. I, so I had really focused on. I wasn't a huge fan of Wirfs. I thought it would just take a couple of years for him. I obviously thought he was really good. I thought it was
Mm,
going to take some time, just because it's normally them athletic type. It takes a while for it upstairs to click in. I mean,
yeah,
I think he was the best out of all of them. And I didn't want to take a chance on the guy back that turned out to be first year at least the better of all of them. I was worried about his weight more than anything. And we did, the story's not. He was dominant for the time he was in there. I know he had a couple games rough that was late, but
mm,
he does just look best. I thought Jedrick Wills, and I'm kind of newer to ranking offensive line. I thought Jedrick Wills was hands down the best, just because that's because the guy's got feet like a wide receiver. It
I
was
don't
pretty good.
honestly. I don't blame you for thinking that either because I like Jedrick Wills as well. Tristan Wirfs I liked, but I know a lot of Giants fans really wanted. I whoa, 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 whoa. I don't even mean to cut my own self
What
off.
happened? What happened?
The Detroit Lions select Penny Sewell. Penny Sewell.
Good for
Wow.
good for
Yeah, see, that's what an organization does. When you're rebuilding,
yeah.
go protect your new quarterback. I mean, for right now, Jared Goff is the quarterback, but that's good. That's good for them. Take Penny Sewell. And I mean, with how that division is, you got to go against Khalil Mack, Zadarius Smith,
Yeah.
Preston Smith. Go protect your quarterback, man. I like that for Detroit. They needed a wide receiver, but this is a deep wide receiver class. They could find something easily in the second round.
Oh,
But
they can
that's
go second,
that's
third round
good.
and get starters right there.
Exactly. So, but that's good for Detroit. That's
As
good for
as
Detroit.
fans, it's boring as hell. We all hate it when people stay on. Like I was saying, you need to do it. That's how they're going to allow you to. It is what it is. I know it's boring. It's like, hey, we just drafted some
Yeah,
down guy.
I mean,
What's
I,
he gonna do?
I it's like there's people that'll literally say to their faces blue that they don't want to pick an offensive lineman because it's a boring pick. I don't give a damn if it's a boring pick. I'm trying to win games. I'm tired of having to after the seasons. Then I gotta look at okay, what are the Giants gonna do with free agency? What are they gonna look in the draft? Like I'm trying to see some playoff football. You feel me? Like some meaningful football. Like you gotta protect it, and you're not gonna go that far if you don't have the trenches set up for success. So good
I
for
think us
Detroit.
Giants fans are learning what happens when you don't get yourself a tackle through the draft over the years, because you end up having to pay somebody like Nate Solder way more than what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the aftermath of it. So it hurts your team twice. So you make
Yeah.
your quarterback suffering, and then you have to dish out all this money, and it just puts you from behind right from the get-go. You have to get the tackles. The guys on the inside, you can find people in the 5th, 6th, 7th round to plug in. You need them tackles. And I've actually heard Giants players straight up say, "Oh, what are we going to do? Waste another first-round pick on a tackle? Waste a pick? What are you
Waste a
talking
pick.
about? Waste a pick?"
I guess because a lot of Giants fans have that PTSD of Eric
Oh, yeah.
Flowers, which I get,
It
but
happens. But that
yeah,
was that he should have never been picked to be a tackle to begin with. Everybody, when he was coming out, everybody said he's not a tackle.
yep, absolutely, absolutely, and
So
you
what
know
Joe
what?
Judge talk about square pegs and round holes or whatever?
Yep,
That's what
I
that
was
whole
just
situation.
about to say that. Yep, if it's not working, man, let's find what your strengths are, man. If you're not good on the outside, I'm not gonna put you on the outside. Let's move you around. Let's see what happens. And look, he ended up being a pretty decent guard for Washington. He ended up being a pretty decent guard for Miami. Got himself a contract extension. So,
Yeah.
oh,
And I know a lot of Giants fans say, "How come we never moved him to guard?" I think by the end of Eric Flowers in New York, it was just good for everybody to move on.
yeah.
Kind of like how I feel with Evan Ingram. I know Giants fans wish that we would pick Eric Flowers down guard. He still was not very good in Miami last year.
No, he wasn't.
I think he allowed a bunch of sacks. I, if Eric Flowers is still on the team and we're paying him like 11, 12 million a year, like he's getting paid, I would be very.
Hey, look, all I'm gonna say about Eric Flowers is that I'm excited that he got traded back to Washington because Leonard Williams is about to feast. I'm just being honest here. Leonard
I didn't
Williams
even
is about
think
to
like
feast.
that.
Because you put a player like Leonard Williams right there, right in front of the guard, man.
It's just so unfair to have somebody like Leonard Williams that play on the inside because
I
he's
know.
so long and athletic. There's just when it comes to offensive linemen, what I've noticed is most of the unathletic big guys that get kicked down to the inside. So when you see the tackles, they're the more physical, what I mean, athletic, longer of offensive linemen, and the rest just get kicked on the inside. So most interior offensive linemen are not equipped to deal with a player like Leonard Williams. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, I'm there with you. I mean, let's just say this much. This draft has been pretty good so far. Pretty good so far. The Devonta Smith dream is still alive. I don't see Carolina taking him. Denver, they already spent their first round pick last year on Judy. They are a team I could actually see pick Micah Parsons, to be honest with you, if they don't go quarterback, which
They
Mac
got to go
Jones,
quarterback.
they got
John
him.
Elway
That's what I'm
needs to
saying.
get a quarterback, or he's going to be fired.
Yeah, I know he removed himself from the manager position. He's like a higher
Yeah,
rank right now. But yeah, if I'm the Broncos, you have no excuse. Justin Fields fell. Mac Jones is still there. If I'm the Broncos, you gotta go up there and take.
I like Fields.
I really do too. I think he could be not the next Russell Wilson, but he reminds me of Russell Wilson.
He reminds me of RG3.
That's a good. You know what? That's a good comp. I like that. That is a good comp.
I think
Yeah,
he's
you
more
know.
advanced passing than RG3 was coming out, but yeah, I like him. He's going to
Yeah, I
give
think.
you a flavor, like when the play breaks down. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, it's backyard football. I think he could be good at that kind.
Yeah, we're gonna see, man. I mean, so far, I'm liking how it's playing out. If Carolina selects a tackle, which I think that is very, very possible that they might, because I don't see them going wide receiver. I think it's very possible that Devonta Smith is a giant.
If I'm Carolina, I'm taking Slater. I wouldn't be surprised though if they take. I wouldn't be surprised if Micah Parsons goes right here.
That wouldn't be bad either because they do need some linebacking help. They went all defense last year in their draft, so I'm not too sure. And my thing is like a lot of people say, well, they're not going to go quarterback because they just got Sam Darnold. If Justin Fields is there, which he is there, he is a lot better than Sam Darnold is.
I think so, and it would be a mistake to pass up. But that, I think that's what they're going to
Mm-hmm.
do. They've invested way too much in Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, because I like Joe Brady as an offensive coordinator. That's what I was saying. I think Sam Darnold's in a good position right now. If by this year he doesn't progress, even though you can make the excuse he's learning a new scheme, building chemistry, whichever. Nah, I need to see some sort of progression from him this year. If not, we're going to be having the same conversation next year about the Carolina Panthers and who they're selecting at quarterback. Because
Well, the squeeze
man,
on Matt Rule is going to start to happen. I don't think he's going to have excuses there because
I don't think
talking
he. I
two
don't think
years
he'd
under
go
Matt
anywhere.
Rule, the squeeze starts to happen. The squeeze is starting to happen, especially if it all falls apart. Sam
I
Darnold is
mean,
awful. It's not good.
they gave him how long was his contract? Was it 10 years or was it 5 years? I don't know how
Uh,
long his contract was. It was
I
a long.
don't think it was. Yeah, I think it was like a 7 year. Something like
I'm
that.
gonna look right now because it was a long contract. That's why I'm saying I don't
They
see
gave him a
after
lot of
10
money,
years.
is what I
They
remember.
did. So he is making. It's a 7 year contract worth
Right,
$62 million.
which is up there for coaches. That's up
That's
there.
a lot of money for coaches.
Yeah.
That's
And
like
what has he?
player
And
money
what has
right
he
there.
really done? You know?
I mean, look, and this is just how I feel, and I'll be the first to say, I'm pretty ignorant with college football. I have no issue saying that. I'd rather be real than me be dishonest and
That's
lie.
good. That's good.
And it's like there's a big difference from NFL to college. I like Urban Meyer in college, but how is he going to do in the NFL? So it's like I just the transition from college to NFL is just so different, not just from a player perspective, but from a coaching perspective as well. I don't know. But Matt Rule in college, I mean, he's been known to turn these pretty bad organizations around relatively quick. But and I think it's possible with we don't know what's gonna happen with the Saints. We don't know what's gonna happen with Atlanta right now. Really you just gotta worry about Tampa Bay. That's really it. So
I see. I think he did okay. But
oh,
what happened? What happened?
the Carol wow, the Carolina Panthers select J.C. Horn.
Wow.
I did not see that coming.
No, neither did I.
I would at least think Pat Surtain.
No, no, no. See, dude, I am not big on that guy
Okay, I gotta hear why. I gotta hear
because he's
why.
a zone corner. I would rather have a corner come in that's legit good at press and man coverage, and then then improve on the zone. That be a zone guy and then have to improve on your man coverage. That's just in the
No, well,
long run.
honestly,
Maybe
that
in
makes
8 years,
sense.
9 years, maybe in 8 9 years, Sertain's the best corner. But if that man coverage never clicks for him, he's never going to be a top team. I don't
No,
view him like athletic freak or anything like that. J.C. Horn is an athletic freak. Worst
yeah,
come to worst, he's going to be able to get down and be mean and physical with big receivers, and he's going to compete in that way. So I think
no. I
Carolina
mean,
just
that's a good point.
told us what kind of defense they want.
And you know what? It's funny because I gotta remember. I don't know if it was MTS. There was a content creator that stated that the Panthers play more man coverage than they do in zone. And you bringing that up right there makes a lot of sense as to why they would pick JC Horn.
Yeah,
That makes a lot of sense. And I'm actually looking here. I'm looking on Google right now. They played a lot of man.
yeah.
They played a lot of man. So you know what? Good pickup for Carolina. That's a good, solid pickup. Not
I think
who I
I
thought.
don't. I think he's going to struggle to start with him. I do think he'll struggle a little bit. I do like his physicality. He's, if I was them, if I was a Carolina fan, I'd be pissed about letting Bradbury go. To just
Oh
take a
yeah.
flyer
Oh
on
yeah.
JC
I
Horn.
was so happy that they just let him walk like nothing.
Yeah, I mean maybe they'll get a comp they'll get a comp pick for him. So you're getting a third rounder,
It
and
shouldn't
then you
be
got to
too
sit there and
high.
watch. You got to watch Giants games and watch him be a top 3 corner in the NFL. Just pay the man $15 million. Just
But you know something? J.C. Horn is going into a good situation, and I'll tell you why. He's going into a division where he's playing some of the top wide receivers in the league.
yeah, yeah.
So talk about some good practice for a man coverage cornerback. Uh, Going against Julio Jones, going against Calvin Ridley, who I actually played with Calvin Ridley in high school down in South Florida.
Oh no shit.
Um, yeah, no, and to this day, like I had mentioned this on Big Time Pat's live stream, that to this day, that's the fastest human being I've seen in person. Obviously, Tyreek Hill is a lot faster, but it was just there would be plays that our coach he would literally come in and just say, just throw it to Calvin. And
Yeah,
Calvin, I mean, he was a man amongst men. Nobody really realized the kind of talent that Calvin Ridley had. And what he's doing right now in the NFL, which is really good, he was doing that obviously in college, but he was doing that in high school. And it was like watching a man run on water.
yeah.
And you know what? It's
It's
like,
impossible to tackle him too. I don't want people like that.
oh
You
my
can't
God.
barely get a hand on him.
He's and people don't realize like how tall he is either because like
Yeah,
and you know what, that may be the Atlanta recipe because I've seen Julio Jones in person at the mall down in South Florida. He was at Aventura Mall, and
yeah,
Julio Jones is a big guy. He is a
yeah,
big guy. He's 230. He has to be 230 because he is a big guy. And
yeah. He is. He's like
I
what,
haven't
6'2"
seen.
or 6'3" as well,
He's
right?
6'3", 6'3", 230 pounds. Straight
Yeah,
muscle.
yeah.
Straight muscle, 230 pounds. So, yeah. And Calvin Ridley's not that much smaller than him either. If I remember correctly, he's like 6'1", 6'2", 6'1", and he's
Yeah.
195 pounds. So, hey, like I said, for J.C. Horn, you're going into a good situation. Similar with James Bradbury, similar with Josh Norman. I think, that division, if you're a cornerback, you got to love that. You're going to get some of the best. So,
I would put money on it that if you asked Bradbury whether it helped him or not to get to the point where he is playing them kind of receivers, I'm sure he'd say, yeah, that was help.
oh, absolutely. I could only imagine, right? I'm going against some of the best wide receivers in the whole league 8 times in the whole year, 2 times per team. And then I come to a division where the best receiver at the time. Now this is everybody's opinion. Some people say that Amari is. Some people say Terry McLaurin is in the division. But you're going against Terry McLaurin. You're going against Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Philadelphia doesn't have a wide receiver. So it's like I don't know. For me,
I
it's
don't
like
like Amari Cooper. I think Amari Cooper is really overrated.
I'm not the biggest fan of Amari Cooper. I liked him as a player. I liked him with Oakland, but some of the things that Jay Gruden said were some of the things that I actually was thinking about him. There are plays that he kind of quits, and he's one of those players you can't yell at him. You can't really get on him because he doesn't
Yeah,
operate that way. You
yeah.
gotta kind of like talk to him a certain way, which honestly everybody learns different. Everybody succeeds differently, so I understand that, but especially when you
Well,
play
no,
in
wait, you
Dallas.
played football, then you know the way it is. Though.
Exactly.
There's only one
Exactly.
voice. At the end of the day, there's one voice that you just shut up and do your job. It
Exactly.
is what it is.
And you know what? When even besides all of that, the talent is there. He's an excellent route runner. He has great hands, but it's just my bold prediction is I could see Dallas move off of CeeDee Lamb next season. Excuse me, not CeeDee
Really?
Lamb. Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper.
Oh yeah, they should
Yeah,
never
not
sign
CeeDee
him to
Lamb.
begin with. They should
Yeah,
never
no.
sign him to begin.
I meant to say Amari Cooper, but yeah, it makes sense. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, in my honest opinion, is their best wide receiver,
I
and
don't know. I think it's Gallup. I like Gallup.
I know Gallup is a beast too. They got some studs out there, but it's like I guess the ceiling for CeeDee Lamb, like it's high, man. And he had a pretty good season last year. I thought he did fairly decent, and I thought he actually had a better season than Jerry Judy, which that's nothing negative towards Jerry Judy. I think you go get him a quarterback, he'll be set.
Well, I think
But
upside. Judy's got a little bit more upside than CD. See, I think CD's like the highest upside he could get realistically is like Victor Cruz that 1 year, 2011. That's kind of how because
you
he's a
think
slot
so?
guy. Yeah, I think that would be like his top of the top, which is still pretty good. I mean, 8, 9 touchdowns, 1,500 yards season. That's still pretty high ceiling. But like, or something like Jerry Judy plays on the outside. I view him like a 17, 18 touchdown guy. That's there's a difference. And depending on what kind of system you run, like if you run a New England system, you want CD Lamb.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I still don't.
I agree with you there. I mean, I think that if Dallas, because I don't fully believe in their head coach, and that's just me. I know some people will say I'm crazy for that, but
No, the guy's dumpster.
I
So
don't believe in him. I really just don't believe in him, and it's like
he
I
completely
don't know.
duped the Dallas Cowboys front office. He completely duped them.
Yeah, and there's no excuse because they had Dak for the beginning half of the season, and they were still booty. And I'm not even going to sit here and completely. Their defense deserves a lot of the blame. Let's be honest here; they deserve a
Yeah.
lot of the blame. But you still have Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott. Like you gotta win with those kind of players. I would kill to have an Amari Cooper or a CD Lamb. Like, come on, man.
Well, there was reports coming out of Dallas that Mike McCarthy, a lot of players are straight up just citrus. That's not good. That's not good.
No, it's not at all.
And
It's
the stuff
not
that
good
you're
at
hearing
all.
is kind of the same kind of stuff that you're hearing these last years in Green Bay. It's the same stuff. I
Hmm.
just don't think he's any kind of great genius mind. I view him offensively like a Ben McAdoo kind of head coach.
Yeah,
And Ben
God.
McAdoo could get you to the playoffs, but when you talk about leading men, that's just
Wow.
I don't see it with my.
Wow. What a holy. Okay, so with the ninth pick in the draft, the Denver Broncos select Patrick Surtain, Alabama. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't think. Yeah, this Broncos.
I thought they should have went and got them. They should have gotten themselves a quarterback, man.
Well, I guess they didn't like any of it.
Yeah. I mean, you can't tell me that Justin Fields isn't better than what you have on your roster. But hey, what do I know, man? That's crazy. Good for Patrick Surtain. Now I'm interested to see what Dallas does because they could go get a Micah Parsons. They could go and get a
I
Rashawn
don't think they're
Slater.
going Parsons. Why would they
I
go
think
Parsons? They got Van
I
Der
think that,
Esch and Smith.
yep. I was just about to say that they have the linebackers there, but they need some help on the defense, man. And I think that with how the cap is going and how much money they're gonna have to pay Dak, then Zeke and Amari Cooper and then D Law, someone's going to get cut. And whether that's Zeke, I could actually see Jalen Smith being a person on the trading block because Zeke isn't going to have that much value because of the position that he plays. But you go trade a Jalen Smith, I mean, he's an above average linebacker. You
He had
can
a
at
bad
least
year last year, but he is pretty
yeah,
good.
I think you can get at least a third at a worst case, a third pick. Highest a back end second, but
They have to take Slater. Think about this. Who else can they take? They're not going to take a receiver.
no,
Any
they're not.
defensive player they take here is going to be a huge reach.
If they were smart, which we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys here, so that's not too common. But if
Draft a
they were
quarterback.
smart, yeah, draft the quarterback.
Yeah,
But
and trade, right?
yeah, just trade Dak. Trade Dak to who needs a quarterback right now that's not on the board.
No, no, no,
Shoot.
no. Don't trade Dak. You just gave him all that huge contract.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Draft a quarterback, and then you start talking to all the teams behind you that want a quarterback. Get yourself a
Oh,
bunch of extra picks out of it. That's the only, other than that, Slater's the only thing I can think of.
if they're smart, they would go Slater because, like you and I were talking about earlier, their offensive line is getting old and it's looking injury prone. And Philly has a solid defense. They have a solid front seven. The secondary is very suspect, but Philly has a good, front four. I know I said front seven, but they have a good front four. Washington, great defense. The Giants, great defense. The Dallas is going to have to do something with their offensive line here. They're going to have to figure it out, and I really do think I could see them picking up Rashawn Slater. I know I said Micah Parsons, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised with either or.
it don't add up,
But
does it? Like to take Micah Parsons, that don't make sense for them.
it
Unless you think he
doesn't.
can play on the edge, I just don't see him.
No, I don't see him that way either. I am just worried.
I could see the only thing I could be a reach, but Ojulari or Quiddy Pay or Jalen Phillips, one of them three, I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah,
Micah Parsons, I would hate it for Dallas. I would hate it. I'd be freaking if I was a Dallas fan. They took Micah Parsons.
It's just God. I really did think that Denver could have used Micah Parsons. Von Miller's getting up there in age. He still is productive, but they need some linebacking help. But that's good. They got themselves a nice corner. That's solid for them. Their secondary is looking stacked. Wow. Dallas is trading with the Eagles.
They get their quarterback?
I think they may take Devontae Smith.
That's weird to see a trade of the division.
That's very weird. We're going to see what happens, but what the hell?
What kind of effery is going on here? Right between
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at this right now. Dallas traded 10 to Philly for its first round pick and a third round pick.
Yeah, I mean, it really made sense there. The only thing I could really think of that made sense for Dallas is take a quarterback and work out a trade. You probably could have got better than a third. You could have got like maybe a first this year's first year, next year's, say to like a New England or something. But New England's probably going to be good. Now you're looking at the end of a first round. So how valuable is it going to be?
They're gonna.
Is it Justin Fields right here?
Yeah, Justin Fields is right here. They just traded out. But nah, I honestly think, the Eagles are going to take Devontae Smith. They're going to.
That's going to suck.
It is going to suck. But they need quarterback help. So
Slater fell to us then.
Yeah, if it's not Slater, like I said, I think it's going to be Micah Parsons. I really do.
I'm not going to be mad, but if Slater was there, why that's not?
Yeah, no. We're going to see.
Especially if Devontae Smith goes right here.
Yeah, if Smith goes here, man, God, I'm going to be damn.
I'm telling you, and I've been telling Giants fans, don't be upset if we take Ojulari or Quiddy Pay right here. The Giants, it's a huge possibility because it's really one of the only needs we got. It depends on how your board is. If you view Ojulari or Quiddy Pay like above Slater, you're going to take your edge guy.
Man, we're going to see. Because you know what? They do need some defensive help as well. So we're going to see. I don't know.
This is the first year I have not physically watched the draft. It's kind of nice.
I told you should have watched it, man.
No, it's all good. Try and keep my mind clear.
Nah, I understand that. They only gave up a third round pick to go up to the 12th.
Well, it's only 2 spots.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want the Giants to trade up.
Dallas will get an extra starter on our defense out of this right
here. Yeah, so it works out for them. So
yeah,
we'll see. I mean,
and maybe the player that they wanted is going to still be there. So.
You know what? I'm thinking about this now, which I doubt it. But Philly needs help on the offensive line. Remember how many times Philly got sacked last year?
They do, but I don't get that vibe from them. They have
I don't get it either.
what's his name? That they brought in a tackle, but he's been hurt. He's a left tackle. He was supposed to come in and
Who, Jason Peters?
play. The Eagles 2 years ago drafted a tackle
Oh
to take
yes, they
over for him.
draft. He had an ACL injury, right? Something like
Yeah, he's
that.
been hurt, constantly hurt.
Yeah. Hold on, the
Andre
pick is
Dillard, right? Andre Dillard.
something like that. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me see. They're showing Devontae Smith right now, but he hasn't picked up the phone yet.
Well, they do a good job of that sometimes. I've seen it where they don't pick up the phone; they get picked. Weird.
Yeah. Man. I'll be surprised if it's not Devontae Smith. I would be
I wouldn't
very
because
surprised.
they could grab a quarterback right here.
They should. Look, Jalen Hurts is not a good quarterback. I am sorry. He is not a good quarterback. He
Yeah, I'm
wasn't.
not
He
ready to
wasn't
say
good at
that yet.
Oklahoma. I mean, I know. Some people don't want to say that. I'ma just say it. I don't think he's a good quarterback. I really don't think he's a good quarterback at all. I didn't see
Maybe
anything at
if
Oklahoma
you
or
put the
Bama.
right players in the system, we've seen teams can be successful with that running quarterback style.
Yep, they took Devontae Smith.
Wow, they stole him.
Yep.
Stole our wide receiver. Slater's right there. You got to take him, man.
Yep.
Got to take Slater right here. What do you think?
I'm gonna stick to my guns, man. They're gonna take Micah Parsons.
That'd be insane.
They're gonna take Micah Parsons. The Giants are
Linebackers
gonna.
are important to me, but when you
I
talk
know.
about premier positions, tackle, wide receiver, quarterback, cornerback, they are the premier of the premier.
But I really do think that they want to develop this offensive line. I think that they really do believe in Matt Peart. Maybe not Shea Lemieux, but I
do
think that
too. But I wanted Slater to kick in the guard because I think Peart will beat him out in practice, and then Slater will start at right guard.
I just want look. All I'm gonna say is, I want blood from the Eagles, man. I'm serious, man. I want blood, man.
I honestly, that didn't even make me upset. I thought it was very embarrassing for everybody affiliated with the Eagles. I kind of felt bad for the fans because they're kind of stuck after.
Nah, I don't give a damn about their fans. Their fans are the worst, man. That's just.
Well, listen, if you're saying you don't give a damn about Eagles fans, you might as well just say you don't give a damn about Giants fans. They're the same.
Yeah, we are, man. To a degree. I don't think we're as obnoxious as Eagles fans. Every fan base are there.
I don't know, man. There's Giants fans right now calling for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not going that far.
And then you know what's going to happen?
You
know what's going to happen? Week 1, we have a bad game, we lose, rip tear it down. New GM, new coach, new quarterback. Yeah. That's what you're going to get.
Yeah,
but until that first bad game, they're going to the Super Bowl, man. It's just how they are. There's no loyalty with not all Giants fans. Some of us are older and been around and seen rebuilds. The big problem I think Giants fans have is they don't understand that this is the 3rd year of a rebuild, but they kind of factor in 2016, 2017 into it. It's been I've seen a lot of Giants fans say, we've been rebuilding for 6 years. No, we just put together a shitty overpaid roster.
I don't mean to cut you off. Off. The New York Giants have traded pick 11 to the Chicago Bears, but the pick details haven't been out yet.
All right, we're getting our edge guy. Love it. Here goes Fields.
Wow.
Fields or Mac Jones, one or the other. I take Mac Jones, but they're probably going to take Fields. Wow, good job, Gettleman. There goes the myth of Gettleman not be able to trade back.
Hey, I mean, there's a first for everything, I guess, man. Oh God, I wanted Devontae Smith, but we'll see. We'll see.
Dude, I've been saying I don't know if you watch, some of my videos, but I've been saying I don't think. But closer to the draft, I didn't think the tackles would be there. The 2 tackles, the 3 wide receivers. Now Slater is there. They obviously must think they can get him later, or they're not high on him. Maybe they
But
don't. Maybe they don't. They think Parrott's better at tackle, and they don't view him as a good guard. I don't know.
oh wow, we got a future first round pick. I'll take it. I'll take it.
You know what that is, right?
Huh?
You know what that future first round pick is, right?
What you think?
Daniel Jones don't work out, they're going to bundle up to go down and get a quarterback next year. Exactly
You
what
know
that
what?
person.
That's not bad.
That was insurance policy.
God, they. You know what? Credit to them. That's yeah.
Where was
The Bears
Chicago? Like 15 or something?
20.
Oh, okay.
20. Yep. The expectations is wow. We got a haul. We got number 22,
Right.
164,
Mm-hmm.
a future first round pick, and a future fourth round pick.
Oh, dude.
God.
Dude. That's beautiful. I got a big old smile on my face.
I got a big smile on my face too. Oh my God.
So we got
deal.
an extra 5th round pick this year or something? What is it, 160 you said?
We got hold on, let me check right now.
I think that's like a 5th round pick.
I'm about to, yeah, I believe so.
So we didn't have a Gettleman's money.
He is. It's the 5th round pick. So we got that 5th round pick that we spent on Leonard Williams pretty much.
Right,
back.
we got that back. Beautiful.
Hey, I'll give the man credit when credit is due. For his first trade back, this was a very good trade back.
Especially when you're sitting at 11. Especially when you're at 11.
Because now it's like, where do the Giants go? In my honest opinion, they're going to pick an edge rusher.
Oh, yeah,
they're going to pick
I have no doubt.
Who? Wait a second. We were hearing a lot of things about Kwity Paye today. And there's a picture going around right now of Kwity Paye with the family member at the airport, and one of the family members is wearing a Giants shirt.
Well, Kwity Paye could get picked before.
He could. I'm just saying, though. You never know.
So
man, you know what?
The pick this year is 22.
Yeah, it's saying 22, but I'm looking at it here. No, it's 20. Yeah, pick 20. And then we got a future first, a future fourth, and the 5th round.
Yo, easy thing. I'd love it if it's Phillips. Straight up, that would be awesome.
What happened? I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit.
Easy 3 is in the chat. He thinks it's going to be Phillips.
Hey, I think it could be Phillips too, man. I mean, that would be Phillips. I think he's the best edge rusher, pure edge rusher outside of Azeez Ojulari in this draft. But I really do think that Phillips is a good edge rusher. I do have some concerns about the concussions, but I like it.
I think Phillips is the best player in the draft.
Really?
I think in 2 or 3 years, people could look back at this draft and they could say, "Oh,
it's definitely possible." It's definitely possible.
I swear to God, Chris Sims watches my channel because I made 2 comps. I said, like, floor, JPP, right? I said ceiling, like Julius Peppers for the Carolina Panthers all them years ago. 2 days later, you could look this up on my video I did, my mock draft, and then look up Chris Sims' linebacker video on NBC does, and you can see he used the exact same 2 comps. You tell me, is that weird or what?
Nah, it's definitely.
And you know he's a Giants fan, and he's a Giants fan. You know it. You know he's a Giants fan. He constantly says it.
And no, you're absolutely right, EZ3. You know, we do have a team for a boom or bust prospect, and you're right. You're right. I think that Jalen Phillips would thrive with Patrick Graham.
Oh my God, it would be just disgusting.
He would thrive with Patrick Graham. My only concern would be I think that Miami could take him, but I've seen mocks that they go the Najee Harris route with their extra first round pick. So I don't know, but Jalen Phillips, I wouldn't complain about it. I wouldn't complain about Kwity Paye, but I don't think he would be the best scheme fit. I could
I
be
think he'd
wrong.
be
I
okay.
could be wrong.
I
Yeah,
think he'd be okay. You know what I like about Kwity Paye is you're not getting like that knockdown, drag out, amazing pass rusher. But with his athleticism, I think he can get there over time.
yeah,
Like
and I like his pass
his
rush
run
as
stopping
well.
is top notch. I mean, he's coming in. He's gonna all right. Good comp for him, like Olivier Vernon. I think that's the kind of player he's gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? He could be one of those players that comes in and makes an immediate impact. And the reason why I say he could be is because again, I just have some questions on the scheme fit, but I'm sure that with how smart and well coached the coaches that we have here, I think that honestly, whoever we select at pick 20, man, they're going to be in good hands. They're going to be in good
Ojulari
hands.
is like my comp for Ojulari, DZ3 is talking about, is Yannick Ngakoue. I think that's who he's going to be. He's like a third down specialist, get to the quarterback. I think he can also make plays in the run game. He did really well, like with pullers and a run block. Like he's good at jumping a lane when teams like run pulls and stuff like that. But Kwity Paye, he's not nothing close like good against a run like Kwity Paye is. But
No, he's a good player in the run defense, Kwity Paye. But like I said, I just want to see how he would fit in this scheme compared to Jalen Phillips. I wouldn't be upset if they went the Azeez Ojulari route either. I wouldn't be upset at that at all.
no,
But
that makes our defense so much better on third down, especially third and longs.
Let's see. Hold on.
Ultimately, when you're a defense, you want to get to a point where you can have excellent coverage and get to the quarterback. It really hinders a team when you can't blitz. You're like where you have to blitz to get to a quarterback. That hurts your coverage.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and they got to be careful. They really do. And oh wait, hold on, what's that? All right, so the Bears have selected Justin Fields. They got their quarterback.
Yeah,
they got their quarterback. About time, man. It's because Chicago.
I think he'll do good over there.
Yeah, he'll be good over here. Matt Nagy needs himself a solid quarterback. I think that they had to have traded up. They had to trade up, and they're getting a hell of a player. Now I'm very intrigued to see where does Mac Jones go.
If he makes New England's got to move right now. Dallas would be smart to trade back again. Trade back with New England. That would be the best move right here for them.
I mean, yeah, they need the draft.
They need defensive players. They need a lot of them. Keep trading back,
Yeah, definitely am interested to see.
Dallas might end up with the best if they keep trading back. Like I think they might. They could end up with the best draft out of everyone.
Hey, look, they they might trade themselves out of the first round. Shit.
I don't know about that, but
I know. Yeah, I'm just saying with how it's going, like they just keep trading back.
New England's at what, 12, 13, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, if you could trade back just a couple more picks like you did last time, get yourself another third round. That's another starter on a defense.
Yeah, or even that could be a starter on
guard
as well.
That's a starting guard. You're not going to get a starting tackle in the third normally, but you don't find Matt Parrots every year in the third round. That's rare.
No, and I was surprised that Matt Parrott kind of fell to the third round, to be honest with you.
My cousin has no idea. Like, he don't watch college at all. He's just like, who the hell is Matt Parrott? Who is this guy? Another wasted pick on a tackle. Jesus Christ.
You know what?
We just got both our starting tackles in one draft. You're complaining.
Yeah, there's some people that can't find their tackles in a couple drafts. They can't find the right tackle. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Matt Parrott is the future, but hey,
I'm
Let's
comfortable
see.
saying it because it was limited time last year, but he was the best offensive lineman on the team. Now, if you want to say the
So
best offensive lineman, yeah, Nick Gates, but he played all year. But when Parrott was in there, he was the best offensive lineman on the team. And the crazy part of it was he was playing left tackle, right tackle. It didn't matter. He was still the best offensive lineman on the team.
yeah.
I love Andrew Thomas, but Matt Parrott was better. Now, obviously, if he started full time, teams would have schemed against him, and they would have found something. I'm pretty sure I know how to attack him. He likes to stop moving his feet. He likes to just kind of hug players, get in the player's chest. That's going to get exposed eventually. But
Yeah.
I feel good about him. I feel just as good about Matt Parrott as Andrew Thomas. Completely honest.
We're gonna see because the ceiling for Matt Parrott is there. I mean, I think that Matt Parrott could be an above average tackle, which if we can have an above average line, I think we'll be set. Now, before I finish what I was gonna say,
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say is I told you so. With the 12th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Micah Parsons.
Really?
Yep, Micah
That is
Parsons.
mine. I don't get it.
I
Jalen
don't
Smith is
get
going
it
to get traded.
either, but I that's what I was thinking.
Or wait, maybe they move Van Der Esch. Van Der Esch is still on his rookie deal, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, move Van Der Esch. I guess it makes more sense then. I don't know why I was thinking like that.
God, I mean, that is look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I prefer Micah Parsons going to Dallas because I don't really trust Dan Quinn that much compared to him going to the Washington football team.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me though. I'm okay seeing him in Dallas compared to seeing him in Washington. I think in Washington, that takes their defense to almost elite status. They were already top 5. I think that kind of bumps them up to top 3. Dallas has a horrible defense, but they added a solid player in Micah Parsons. So that doesn't completely fix their defense. They are going to need
No,
some help
absolutely.
on the edge.
That was a
But
historically bad defense.
oh, it was garbage. It was booty, man.
It
It was straight up booty.
reminded me of the Giants defenses around that 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
People don't realize how bad we were a couple of them years. I mean, we were dead last defense. Our
I
defense was
remember
like
those
breaking
times.
records for yards allowed and all that.
Oh yeah, I remember that one game that we played against the Saints. Eli Manning
Oh,
and
I
Drew
already know the
Brees
one you're
was a
talking about.
whole
Where it was like
shootout.
52-49.
Yep, that's
They had an
exactly the
awful
one I'm
call at
talking
the end.
about.
They called us the kicker for face masking when they were face masking each other. It was such garbage.
Mm-hmm. God, that game brings back memories.
I was
But
sitting there with my cousin, and I remember saying, I don't know if this is the best game I've ever seen or the worst game I've ever seen. And he said, dude, it's the worst game I've ever seen. Even with Eli throwing like 6 touchdowns.
Eli was just bombing it all over the field that game, man.
Who was even their kicker? Even our kicker returner was like catching big touchdowns. Was it Harris or something?
Dwayne Harris got a touchdown.
I think
OBJ
he got
had a
2.
couple. He did. OBJ had 2. I'm trying to remember who else because Eli Manning went off that game. Let me see really quick.
Yeah, I think Eli had like 6 touchdowns. And at one point, Drew Brees threw a pick 6, so we were up by 14 late in that game. And I was like, this game's over, man. This game's done.
Mm-hmm.
The game should have went to overtime. It was a bullshit call at the end. It should have went to overtime. Honestly, if overtime would have played out, it would have been a great game. But obviously, the refs got to come.
Yeah, no, I didn't agree with the last call either. To be honest with you,
If they want to call face mask, that's fine. Just call it both ways. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. This woman is just screaming on the microphone. Okay, shoot. Hey, but that's a good selection for Dallas. You know, good with Micah Parsons. I mean, hey, let's see how far Rashawn goes. You never know. Hold on, I'm looking here. I believe it was 6 touchdowns. Hold on. 2006.
Yeah, because Drew Brees had 1 more. I think he had 7. He like tied the NFL record that game.
Yeah, he did. All right, so yeah, Eli Manning was 30 of 41, 350 yards, 6 touchdowns. OBJ had a great game, 130 yards, 3 touchdowns. Benjamin Watson had 147 yards and 1 touchdown. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
tight ends used to always kill us back then.
I know. We couldn't
Yeah,
cover a tight end for nothing, man.
it was horrible.
God, it
Every
was
game,
horrible.
every game, we're just getting smoked by tight end.
Yeah. And it's like I'm looking at the stats here, like it's games like these that really showed how important of a player OBJ was to this offense because the closest yards for the next receiver in that game was Shane Vereen at 60 yards, and
Yeah,
OBJ
but
had
he was a
100.
killer though, man.
I
Coming to
know
that,
he went off on this game, man. Like, I
he
remember this game.
fumbled. If he could ever have fixed the fumbling stuff, man, it would have been so good.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
one
I
point,
mean,
he was like the starter. He had worked his way. He had beat Rashad Jennings. You know, at one point, he was the starter, and he came out like his first 2 games starting, like bumped 4 times. It's like, well, I didn't know.
yeah. Hey, look, I'll take. Look, I would take Shane Vereen over Hilliman. What was it last year or the year before with Hilliman?
Oh,
Who kept fumbling the ball?
please no, please no.
Man, it's it. Like I said, it's having these conversations and looking at where we are as a team right now that make you really appreciate what Joe Judge has done because we've had to tolerate a lot of bad Giants football for the last
Really, the only
five,
problem I
four
had
years.
with Joe Judge is I wish he would have stepped into the offensive room and put his fingerprints on it because I feel like Jason Garrett was a huge failure. I like
Yeah,
something. I don't want to say complete failure. But it's just very unimaginative, I guess. If that's a word. Like the route concepts and wide receivers. The one thing I like about him is like he commits to the run and he stays there, and that's not a lot of coaches do that, and that can win you a lot of games. But when your route concepts are just every 3 plays, everybody runs 5 yards to the sticks.
yeah, no, you're absolutely
People
right.
teams knew it. I think a lot of the reason everybody was blaming the wide receivers for not getting open, but and they're saying Daniel Jones is turning into a 1-read quarterback because that's what the system is. If ever
Yeah,
listen, where's like your number 1, 2, 3 target when everybody stops and curls at the same time?
no,
Your job as a
you're gonna
quarterback
put this.
is to watch that safety. If he runs to the wide receiver, you throw to the slot wide receiver. You're literally just staring at the safety. And
Yeah,
it was bad. And
yeah.
on top of it, we got a lot of Giants fans who don't deep dive into football that have literally completely jumped off Daniel Jones. They're saying it's a 1-read quarterback. It's awful. And a lot of it has to do with the system. Obviously, he made horrible mistakes at certain points early on in the year. I think a lot of that was just the pressure. Let's be honest. Who else was going to make a play for us in the first 8 or 9
You're
games?
right there.
Daniel Jones was the leading rusher till like week
Mhm.
14. I mean, it was all on him. Say what you want. It just seemed like Joe Judge and Jason Garrett came in and said, let's reel back the aggressiveness. You know, we're going to win close games running the ball. And I don't think that's what Daniel Jones is. I think they miscalculated what he is. He's a West Coast quarterback, and he needs to be aggressive.
Yeah, no, and you know what? I agree there.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me
What
get
do
to
we
this
got?
comment really quick. We're gonna get to the next pick. The Chargers actually selected Rayshawn Slater. That's good. That's good for the Chargers. They need,
Yeah.
a nice player to protect Justin Herbert,
Collect
who
picks.
looked amazing last year, man.
He was a beast.
Before I continue that, let me get this comment really quick.
Yeah.
Manchester United 96 says, I hope we beat the dog crap out of Dallas and Philly. Washington football team we own anyways. You're absolutely right, man. I was just telling Giant Opinion Sports that I want blood. I want blood with Philly. I've always disliked Philly. I dislike Philly more than the Cowboys. But yeah, no, I really want blood. It seems that Philly has been trying to do everything possible for the Giants to want to murder them this season after that Week 17 fire dome, if you want to call it that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this season. I can't wait till Philly comes. I just want I'm not expecting it, but I want to see the Giants drop 40 on them just to prove a point. I know it's not. It probably won't happen, but
I don't think
you
this
know,
offense can score for it. I don't think it's designed that
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it would, but you know what? I'd be like, all right, I'll take it. Joe Pags, you like the trade hit? Yeah, I actually do. I like the trade. I think that it's pretty solid. I think that we'll get our edge rusher trading back to 20. We get the fifth round pick back, so maybe Giants fans will stop bringing up that we traded a third and a fifth for Leonard Williams. And you're getting more picks, and more picks are more players on this team, and we do need some help. We do need some guard help. We do need some edge help. Maybe go get you another wide receiver or another linebacker or two. Not two or two, but it's just I like it. I really want to see which direction the Giants go. What do you think, man? How you feeling about it?
I feel good about it. I think it gives us some options, especially if we're like a middle of the road decent team. If Daniel Jones completely falls apart, which I don't think will happen. I think he'll have a much better season. I'm not predicting that, but if it does, if he completely falls flat on his face, it gives us options next year to bundle up some picks and move down, and make a move for another quarterback. So
Yeah, and that extra first definitely helps. And you know what? Easy three. I'm not counting Bateman out. I just think that the Ravens could pick him up. Because the Ravens need wide receiver help. Even though they got Sammy Watkins, I don't think I don't think that was a receiver they were really trying to get. I think that was just kind of the one that they kind of had to choose at that point that was on the market. And Sammy Watkins is a good wide receiver, but I kind of felt that once Kenny Galladay, Juju Smith-Schuster, once they kind of got off the market, and especially Juju Smith-Schuster, who received an offer from them and went back to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I thought personally, they were going to address it in the draft. I didn't think they were going to trade up though, because I don't. You got to find a team that's willing to go back that far. But yeah, no. I mean, I don't want to count Bateman out. I don't. Hopefully, he'll be there in the second round. I don't see it, but with how this draft has been going, anything is possible, man.
he's not going to be there in a second.
Yeah, I don't think he is, and I think that the Giants, I could see them really going guard in the second round. I thought that if they picked up a wide receiver, they would go edge in the second round. Maybe look at Joe Tryon possibly, and then go guard in the third round with Ben Cleveland. But we'll see. I think that right now we can kind of. I don't want to say pencil in that they'll take an edge, but I think it's pretty likely.
If one of them edges there, if maybe they're out on
Yeah.
Phillips because of the injuries. I want Phillips too. I really want Phillips bad. Maybe they're just saying it's too much of a risk. If Quiddy Pay or Ojolari there, I think that's your pick. Like boom, instant. Go turn in your card.
Yeah. No,
If you if you're in on Phillips, boom, go get him. Go take.
I mean, look, easy three. I want Phillips too. I think Phillips again would be a great fit in this defense. I think he would instantly be our best edge rusher coming in. At least compared to Lorenzo Carter and O'Shane Jimenez, who they both can't stay healthy. Which I can't really put that fully on them. They both have had, their old injuries, especially Lorenzo Carter. I can't really put that on them. But Achilles are kind of hard to come back for compared to ACLs, MCLs. So I think that bringing in a player like Jay Phillips, he can be an immediate day one starter, and I think that he'd be a great fit, man. I really do. But it's just a question of will he be there?
But no, the only way I could really see Edge not being, or maybe being a question mark, is if somehow Elijah Barrett Tucker falls back, which I don't know. Someone's going to take a guard, I think.
Yeah, now that Rashawn Slater is off and he went to the Los Angeles Chargers, you got
Great.
Minnesota, you got New England, you got Arizona.
Well, I
Man,
think if there's a quarterback there, New England's got to go quarterback, right?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking now, man. New England's
Got to
got to
go
go
Mac
Mac
Jones.
Jones.
What picker are we at right now?
Minnesota 14, and
They
New
got
England is up next after them.
right.
Minnesota's not taking a QB.
They got to trade. Yeah, but they got to trade up. Take it anyways.
Mm.
Listen, if I'm Minnesota, I'm taking Mac Jones and I'm calling up New England going, what are you going to give me for it?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Or a team like Washington, you could call them up too. I think right here, Minnesota's in a good position because with
Oh,
Mac Jones coming that far, Washington may want to trade up, knowing that he could possibly go to New England.
well, again, a perfect situation is Minnesota taking Mac Jones, Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins. They want to be done with him. I'm pretty sure they've seen right now his ceiling is not going to be. They're going to put a great team around him.
Mm.
Why not take Mac Jones and sit on him? You know, work him in a lineup. It's obviously not top
Yeah.
10 picks. You don't got people. You don't got fans screaming for.
Nah, and you know what? At the end of the day,
Trade,
I think that
trade. Easy three, safe
yeah,
trade.
I'm looking here. I'm trying to see if anything popped
Somebody
up.
could have jumped New England. Somebody could have jumped New England right here.
No, the Jets traded up to 14.
What?
Yep, they traded up to 14. I wonder what the hell is about to happen. What is about to happen? Wow.
Bateman?
You think so?
Vera Tucker? Wow, this makes no sense. I'm sorry, I don't like it. I don't.
I don't like it for the Jets. I would have thought that New England would have traded up, but now New England doesn't need to do anything. New
Vera
England could
Tucker is
stay
like the
pat
only thing that
right
makes
there.
sense. Yeah, EZ3 just said they're taking guard. USC had Vera Tucker.
Yeah, I'm trying to see here because I know I get most of my notifications in from Twitter. Those are more up to date than this. It's okay, so it hasn't been announced yet, but it's looking like it's either going to be Vera Tucker or Caleb Farley. Caleb Farley would be nice to the Jets. I think that they need some cornerback help. But
Oh,
we're
you
gonna
think? Oh, all right. I thought there was a report. I'm gonna put some
no,
cameras up
no,
here.
no. Nothing yet. Nothing yet.
They, they got to
Um,
take a pass rusher. They got to take a pass rusher, right? That's what that team needs. They got Lawson. They need somebody else on another side.
yeah, I mean, I don't think it would. Part of me doesn't want to say tackle because they did just get Mekhi Becton last year, so they have the left tackle. I don't know
It
how the
could
right
be
side is
Darrisaw.
looking.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. It could be Darrisaw, Virginia. Yeah, it could be. Could be
I
there.
didn't think about that.
You got Mekhi Becton, and then you got a first round, and Darrisaw. He's projected to be go right around here. No, I didn't watch him. I didn't watch a lot of his tapes. I watched guards this year. I watched
Yeah.
tackles that were projected to be guards. So,
Mhm.
but from the few games, little snaps I've seen, he seems like he could be a good tackle.
I think that he'd be solid for them if they went, Elijah Vera Tucker here. But I don't know. I really do think that outside of edge, they definitely do need quarterback help.
Yeah, corners.
Yeah, I mean,
Hello. What happened? We lost him. Well, it's just me and my. Hey, you like my picture here? Plain Jane.
all right, we're back. Yeah, no, my the mic got disconnected really quick.
Oh, there you
Um,
go.
yeah, my bad. So let's see. I just got the notification. Wow. Okay. Yep. They selected Elijah Vera Tucker. So that's a good one. Easy. That's a good one. Easy three.
Yeah, he
That was a
called
good.
it.
That was he did catch that. I gotta give you my.
Wouldn't have been
Hopefully to
my
hear that
pick.
clap.
When I got thinking about it, I think I would have took the tackle or edge rush.
But man, that's a good pick for them. I mean, I wonder. I wonder where they're gonna put him.
Maybe they play
I
him at
don't know.
tackle. Maybe they play him at tackle.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could see him playing tackle. I could see him on the right side. I'm just a little curious to see would they bump him into guard.
Now, that's where he's
I don't know.
projected. But hey, listen, we drafted Eric Flowers, and everybody said he was going to get kicked into guard.
Well, look, to be fair, not everybody would make that bad of a choice with Eric Flowers hitting the Giants. So I hear you there, but I think a lot of people would have just naturally put Eric Flowers to guard. You know, but no, I agree with you, Easy Three. I definitely do think that they may put him into guard. Um, They might put him into right tackle though. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't see that happening. I think guard is more likely, but good pick. That's a good pick for the Jets. Um, hmm. um, so we got New England up. If New England doesn't go quarterback here, I think it's safe to say that Mac Jones goes to Washington.
They're taking Mac Jones.
That's what I genuinely believe that they will take Mac Jones. They have to
so stupid. He's the closest thing we've seen to Tom Brady since Tom Brady's went in the league.
Why wouldn't you? Yep.
Yeah, he's a complete scheme fit. Because Josh McDaniels is still there, right?
Yes. Josh McDaniels is still over there in New England.
Yeah, I mean that's just, and they didn't have to trade up.
No, and we were just talking about that. Who would trade up with with Minnesota? And I know you wanted Minnesota to pick him up and kind of call New England, which that wouldn't be a bad idea. But now New England doesn't have to do that. Now they didn't have to trade any picks. They didn't have to do anything, and they're in a good position to take their quarterback for the future. And Mac Jones would be, God, that would be a good fit in New England. Easy3 says Flowers took 5 years off Eli Manning's career. Yeah, and I think a lot of Eli Manning's interceptions came because of Ruben Randall. Not a lot of them, but a good majority of his interceptions, when you look at it, Ruben Randall, man, that boy couldn't catch a cold if it was dependent on him.
There's not a quarterback in history thrown more interceptions that were tipped or blatantly dropped by wide receivers.
Yeah.
And it was really a problem because when Gilbride was here, we were running an option defense. It was all like, so if a wide receiver sees them playing outside, they run inside. That's how that whole system was predicated. And just we didn't have the receivers. It was just nobody was on the same page.
No.
And it made Eli look horrible.
Yeah, and honestly, it's like it just got to a point where you just saw, it looked like a shot boxer, man. It just got to it was sad seeing them on the field sometimes. Like this man was just getting hit after hit after hit after hit, and it's like, man, it's sad.
And when the conversation Eli Manning comes up, it never goes to that direction. It goes to, he was just average for a second half.
Yeah, it's like, he should have been better.
Why?
He should have. And it's like, yeah, he won us 2 Super Bowls. He can't protect himself. I mean, him protecting himself was him sliding down on the floor instead of getting sacked.
Phil Simmons did that shit his whole career. I don't know how old you are.
Exactly.
Phil Simmons always laid down. My dad, excuse my language, my dad used to.
Yeah, you good.
My dad did not like Phil Simmons because he would just lay down on plays. If he was going to be sacked, he'd lay right down on the field. So we used to call him pussy. I don't think he was. I think he was a tough quarterback.
Yeah, I like him personally.
You got to make business
I never got to watch him. Yeah, and you know what? And that's how you win in this league. You win in the trenches, but you also got to win by playing this draft smart. And that, to me, really goes with Dave Gettleman and what the Giants did. They could have went the Rashawn Slater route. They could have went the Micah Parsons route, but their player wasn't there, which I think is very clear. The Giants wanted Devontae Smith. And we got a haul for him. And I think the Giants absolutely won that trade. And I'm very excited to see how the rest of this draft plays out. You got to win. You got to be smart, man. It's a business. But let me see here. All right. So, yeah, we're pretty spot on. The Patriots, let me see. I just want
to.
Yeah, they got you. I'm looking right here. Hold on. Yep. Patriots select Mac Jones. So that's a good player to pair with Cam Newton. Have him learn with Cam Newton. But you got your quarterback for the future.
Yeah.
You got your quarterback for the future. And honestly, what a good fit for Bill Belichick.
So far, that's my favorite pick of any team, any player.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Because honestly, I think that I understand the Tom Brady, comparisons, but I really do like Mac Jones as a player. I like him. From what I hear, he's a smart kid. He's a smart kid. He could pick up the schemes well. And I think that he fits the scheme that Joe Judge and what's his name? Oh my God, we just named him before. The offensive coordinators are coming to my name right now for some reason.
Josh
I'm having
McDaniels.
like a Josh McDaniels. Thank you. I had a brain fart. But yeah, I think that's the perfect quarterback that fits their need of what they're trying to do. And like I said, he gets to learn behind Cam Newton. So I really do like that. And yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see because we got
I think
Arizona
Mac
coming
Jones is
up.
being slept on big time.
Yeah. I mean, I think that he compared to the level of hype that Trey Lance was getting, I honestly felt that Mac Jones was very, very underslept. If I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of people were overlooking Mac Jones. I know I was definitely one of them because I preferred the Justin Fields route, but that's nothing negative towards Mac Jones because he's a good quarterback. Despite the talent that he had over there in New England, whether I think, excuse me, not New England, in Alabama, I think that going to New England, having a coach like Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels, you're setting yourself up for success. I think that right there, that was a solid pick for the Patriots. Solid pick, and I'm excited to see how well he does over there because I think that he could ball out.
Wait,
I
who's the
really do.
quarterback that Miami drafted last year?
Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua. Well, actually, I watched an interview, Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith, and they were asked a question, and they didn't even like take out the dodgy answer. Who was the better quarterback? And they both said Mac Jones. Instant
Yeah, I
was the better
remember that.
quarterback.
Yep.
I think he's a better prospect than Tua. I really
Man.
do.
I
And
mean, we're gonna see how Tua plays out. I'm not too sold on Tua, to be honest
I
with
think
you.
he'll be okay. I don't. I think it was very unfair the way he was treated there last year. But the injury history, like I don't even know why they. I don't know what they should have took Herbert, or did they even have a shot at Herbert?
Hey, I mean, I'm not sure. Let me see. Hmm. Let me check. And yeah, no, hold on. I just wanted to read this comment really quick. Easy three, you're absolutely right. I mean, I felt that the hype that Tua was getting. I understand that he was medically cleared because of his hip, but that's still a serious injury. And I know that he's had multiple surgeries, so I was a little concerned with them selecting Tua, but hopefully he pairs out. I mean, I thought that they should have went the Penny Sewell route and gotten themselves an offensive tackle, but hey, they decided to go Jalen Waddle.
Well, they did take that Austin Jackson last year. I think they
They
protected him
did, and he played
okay.
pretty good. Yeah, he did pretty
Yeah,
good.
he held his own. For I actually thought he was real. I thought he was going to need a year to sit and learn. He
Uh,
played better than I suspected he would.
I think the league just messed up, to be honest with you.
So who was on the clock
Mac
now?
Jones got no. Arizona's on the clock, but Mac Jones came out, and that man has the biggest smile on his face right now. He knows the situation he's about to go to, man.
Yeah.
Good for him, man. Good for him. Good for Belichick. God, that is a good fit. That is a good fit. I'm sorry. I know we're still talking about Mac Jones, but that's a good fit for New England, man. I like that.
Yeah, but you can't.
Yeah.
You can't hold something against them. If somebody's easy three, if somebody's got all the players, I mean, it's just not fair to hold anything. To hold
Yeah,
that
no.
against.
No,
He
it's
when he
not.
wasn't
I
hurt, he
mean,
played well. I mean, you're gonna get drafted out. It is what it is.
yeah, and you know what? It seems like every year, Bama has these first round wide receivers, so it was great. It was bound to happen. Even this year, they have two number one wide receivers going within the first 10 picks. So it's like, I mean, excuse me, yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, he did have the, that he had so many weapons and I think that even with that, I think that he could still succeed at the NFL level. Um, I think it just comes down to a matter of coaching, to be honest with you, and if he can stay healthy. Um, I'm not
So
so worried
young.
about the
How can you make a
coaching.
judgment on him? How can you make a judgment on any player after their first?
Yeah, I mean, it's I try to wait, to be honest with you, around 3 years. I think around the 3 year mark is when you kind of know the kind of player you have. But I will say this much: I did watch a couple games from Miami for Miami last year, and yeah, Tua did look underwhelming. I will say that much. He did look underwhelming, but I think that he should progress obviously this year. But I think that he'll play a lot better than what he did last year, especially when you add in Jalen Waddle. But the offensive line has to hold up, and the reason why I keep stressing that is because you don't need Tua having another one of these hip injuries, anything like that, because at that point you really have to ask yourself, and I think that was a question going into the draft last year was, can he remain healthy and succeed in this league? Because hip injuries ain't no joke, man. They're really no joke to deal with, and he's dealt with quite a few injuries through his
Well,
career.
let's using the logic of looking at just the eye test.
Mhm.
What would we have thought if we would use that logic with Eli Manning his first year, his rookie year? He got what, 4 starts, 5 starts at the end.
Mhm.
You would have said
Yeah,
he's a bust. You would have said he's a bust. He had like 3 touchdowns, 14 picks. I don't even know what it was. It was horrendous. He looked lost. He looked lost, confused out there because he was. You're a rookie.
yeah,
So if we're going to use like the Eli Manning example, I think it's fair to use the same thing towards Tua. Honestly, he looked better at Eli. And I hate to use Eli as the barometer, but to me, it taught me a lesson that don't judge a book. You know what I mean? Just don't judge by the first year. These players are coming out younger than they ever have. We used to be
yeah.
23, 24 years old by the time you we were a starter. And then you had to sit 2 years, a year, 2 years, quarterback wise, before you even get on the field. So you talk about the players in
Mhm.
the past, in the 80s and 90s, they're 26, 27 years old by the time they even step on the field as a starting quarterback. Yeah. These players are coming out 20, 21. Sam Darnold was 20 years old when he came out. Most of these others 21, 22 years old.
Mhm.
They're coming out of college and instantly getting thrown to it. And the players now are bigger, faster, stronger than they ever have been.
Yeah,
These young guys
and
are getting stuck in situations where they have zero chance to succeed. They're such a high pick.
you know
I
what?
can't.
These players are so young when you really look at it, right? Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold just turned 23 last year. June 5th, he turned 23. He's going to be 24 this year. But Zach Wilson, who they just drafted, is about to be 22 in August. And it's like, yeah, the QBs that are coming in are fairly young, but like I remember Sam Darnold was a young QB coming into the league, like really young coming into the league.
20.
I believe he was 20. Yeah, 20 years old. All right, Arizona's on the clock.
They could use an edge guy.
They chose Zaven Collins.
Wow, good pick.
That's a good pick for Arizona. Pair him up next to Isaiah Simmons. That's a good linebacker right there.
Yeah, that's very easy.
That's a
Sorry,
good
everybody,
pick.
for my I have my StreamYard account on my other phone, and
Hmm.
you sent me the link on my girlfriend's phone.
Yeah.
That's why I
No
don't have
worries.
my emblem. I'm just playing Jane tonight over here. I'm this little stick figure guy.
You're good, man. As long as I can hear you, you're good, man. You are fine. Yeah, you're right, Easy Three. He is younger than Daniel Jones and Joe Burrow, and that just speaks to he hasn't even hit his peak yet. Sam Darnold. I really do think that you'll hit your peak within your third to fourth year. I'm not going to say Sam Darnold's going to go out there and have an MVP season. I don't think he ever will, but I do expect him to play fairly better than how he's played with the Jets. I just thought that the Jets kind of set him up for failure, if we're being very honest with you.
I've noticed how a lot of teams have made Darnold struggle as they stand a lot of people up at the line. They bring a lot of pressure, and that seems to bother him. I think that's a hard thing for quarterbacks to be able to get used to that, and maybe they never get used to it.
No, I mean, with how yes, we also got to understand this too. These quarterbacks are coming in young, but these some of these quarterbacks are really, really smart, and they're picking it up a lot quicker than obviously the generation prior, where it was known, okay, you're gonna let these QBs sit for a couple of years, let them learn, and then have them come out. a lot of the times these quarterbacks are playing their first year. They're not really sitting down. Really, the only exception was Patrick Mahomes, and now we're seeing that with Jordan Love. So, I mean, we're gonna see.
I think it can be. I think a lot of teams push these guys in a little too quick, though. I'm not saying I agree with the way they used to do in the '80s. Like Steve Young had to wait 6 years before we got a shot, but I don't think you got to go that route. But I just think it's absurd to start week 1 with a complete rookie. And I don't care how good of a prospect or anything. I just think it's insane.
So my question to you, Giant Opinion Sports, and my question to the people in the chat is, and I feel like we've spoken about it a little bit, but I really want to get your guys' opinion on this. If both are on the board, are you going the Phillips route or the Pay route for the edge position? Because I really don't think that the Giants could go wrong either way.
I think it's impossible for me personally to say it. Now, they're going to have more information, scouts. Right now, from what I've seen on the tape, I'm taking Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
But they're getting doctor reports. You know what I mean? They're getting, that agent of Phillips is sending in over X-rays and MRIs and all this stuff,
Probably every hour too.
Yeah, everything. They're getting everything, every bit of information, CAT scans, whatever it is to scan your brain. They got that information. I don't, and I think if we see Phillips like going in the second round, I think it's pretty understandable if everybody passed on. I'm sure they got to see maybe his CAT scan or whatever. Maybe there's already like CTE type damage going on in his head. So I don't think I can answer that
no,
question.
I could understand that. No,
I don't want to sound
understand
boring about it, but
no. That's a fair answer because we have to be honest with ourselves, right? The Giants have all the medical information that they need. If they select him at pick 20, then he's good to go. He's good to go. The concussions are a concern. But at the same time, concussions vary from person to person. It may not be too bad with him, even though he had to retire when he was at LSU, because of the concussions. But it may not be a bad option to go the Jalen Phillips route. I mean, I just think about the Giants have been taking chances on these players that have injury history. Now, obviously, concussions are different. But you look at Kenny Galladay, they took a chance on him. You look at Adoree Jackson, they took a chance on him. Hell, they're still taking a chance on Sterling Shepard, who deals with concussions.
He almost retired.
He almost retired. On top of that, he missed a couple games last year due to nagging headaches that lingered from the concussions. So, the Giants, I think that they are one of the few teams that they have no issues taking a chance on a player if they feel that the medicals align with the talent. If I could put that properly, but
yeah,
I don't know. I really think that I don't know, man. I personally, if I had to choose, I would go the Jalen Phillips route, but something in my gut is telling me that if I think Kwity Paye may be the pick. The pick with the Las Vegas Raiders are in right now. We're gonna see what they do. But I don't see Washington taking Jalen Phillips or Kwity Paye. I'm really interested to see what they
it would
do.
make no sense for Washington to take any edge.
No, and we're right after Washington.
So we're right after Washington.
Yep, we right now the Raiders are up. But Miami's next, then Washington. And then
Raiders could use an edge guy.
They could. They need some linebacking help, but I do think that they could go edge. I just feel that since they have traded Khalil Mack, they have yet to find whether it's one player or multiple players that can make up the production that Khalil Mack brought. And I'm not saying that them. I'm sorry.
They have Crosby, right? I think he's a legit starter. But who's that guy that they
Clinton Farrell.
Yeah, Farrell. He's been bad there.
Hold
so
on.
I know it's kind of early to be moving on from him, but who'd they take?
I think this is a reach a little bit. They took Alex Leatherwood. They took Alex Leatherwood at
I
pick
wonder if they're going to
17.
actually try and play him attack.
They got to. They I because they traded their tackle back to the Patriots. What's his name? Let me look his name up really quick.
Gruden does crazy stuff all the time.
I'm gonna look this up right now. They traded hold on. Trent Brown this year. That's who it was.
Right.
And that was that was their tackle. And New England got him back. So I'm sure right now they're thinking, okay, this is gonna be our replacement, for Trent Brown. Because Trent Brown really didn't do anything for the Las Vegas Raiders. And they were really expecting him to come in and be that guy for them. And I think we have kind of seen that a lot of these New England players, especially on the offensive line side of the ball, they don't usually pan out on other teams. Hopefully Joe Thuney does well, though, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's definitely a reach. I was looking at Leatherwood as a guard.
I was too.
I just don't see
I didn't see him.
He has the size. I just don't see the athleticism.
Here. Let me see really quick. Easy. If you want to jump on, I don't mind that at all. I don't think Giant Opinion Sports mind either.
No,
I can drop in. Yeah, I could drop in the link really quick if you want to join in. I'll drop it here. If you want to slide through for a couple minutes, talk some football, it'll be right there. If not, we're gonna keep talking to ourselves.
I don't know. If he's still there. I don't know if he's still there or not.
I don't know either, but I put it in there just in case somebody will see it. But yeah, no, it's I think that's a reach. They get their tackle, right? But that is a reach. At least for me, that's a reach.
Yeah, I think he went about 10 picks too earlier than what I feel comfortable with.
Yeah,
Gruden does that every year. Last year he was taking corners that were like second round, and he was taking them in the first. All kinds of. This is what he does.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. If I'm John Gruden, I don't see myself taking him over Darrisaw.
Yeah, that's unbelievable that Leatherwood went for Darrisaw. I thought Darrisaw would get somewhere between that 13, 10 to 13 area.
No, I'm not that big of a fan of the pick, but they're gonna do what they feel is best, and hopefully he pans out. Because if not, you just passed on Christian Darrisaw, who I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's an elite talent, but I think is better than Alex Leatherwood. I actually thought that Leatherwood could fall to the ending of the first, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I thought he could have been gotten in the second round. The way I was thinking about it is he'd be gone maybe a few picks right before a second. That's how I was thinking.
Wow. Yeah. And honestly, I'm surprised. But, well, the pick is in for the Miami Dolphins.
All right.
The Miami Dolphins have selected Jalen Phillips.
Oh, wow. Really? Well, you know what that tells me?
Phillips. What?
That tells me that his medical came back good.
Yeah, it gotta be, man.
Well, so what Miami took Jalen Waddle earlier, right?
Yeah, they got Peg and they got they got Jalen Waddle and Jalen Phillips. So the two Jalens in the first round.
Yeah.
I think honestly, that right there, I think pays the pick.
He's in. He's E3's in.
Oh, he's in? Okay, let me check. Let me put him in.
Hey, NYG31, what's up, dude? I ain't seen you in forever. Still making your videos? I thought I was subbing.
Hey, what's going on, EZ3? What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, Hit Squad? What's up, Giants Opinion, man? How y'all doing?
Brother?
Man, we're chilling. Going over this draft. This draft has been interesting as hell. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
man, yes, what you think? What's been going on with you?
Oh man, been super busy, but I'm up here watching the draft. I see that my two favorite guys are out here. Y'all doing this live. I'm like, man, I gotta start talking. And
bruh, I appreciate that.
Yo, I really, yo, man. But both of y'all videos, I just gotta say, man, I love watching it. I be
Thank you.
listening to it. I be listening to it when I'm going to work in the morning, when I'm going to train people. I listen to y'all all the time.
Man, and you know what? It's crazy because like I listen to you and Giant Opinion Sports like
Man.
a lot, bro. Like a lot. I was telling Giant Opinion Sports earlier that
Mhm.
he really like informs me, to be honest with you, like on certain talents that were in the draft that I didn't even have on my board. And it's like
Mhm.
you have a way of breaking down players that it's like it breaks it down in a way that it's like it kind of convinces me about the player. You know what I mean? Where it's like I may have not had them that high, but from the perspective that you're giving, it's like, you know what? I
Just try
could
and keep
see
it
that. I
simple.
could see that. Yeah,
Just keep it
Yeah.
yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
So who do you think the Giants pick at 20, man? I think it's gonna be Pay at this point, man.
Yeah. Yeah. At this point, I believe it is gonna be Payne because they traded back. They wanted Devontae Smith. They couldn't get Devontae because of the stupid Eagles.
Yep.
But
Fuck.
that's fine. That's fine though because I don't think he's gonna hold up too well because he doesn't have the speed of Deshaun Jackson, but he's definitely just as light and just as small as him. He's gonna get hurt when it comes to the press. But for us, I wanted Jalen Phillips bad, man. I wanted him bad, but yeah, it's gonna be
Man.
Quiddy bad.
I,
It's gonna be Quiddy bad.
I don't I don't blame you, man. I saw mocks with Jalen Phillips going to Miami with their second first round pick. But
Hmm.
I really thought that Najee Harris would have been a solid pick because I saw him going in certain people mocks as well. But no, I mean that's a good pickup for them. If Quiddy pays the pick, I'm not going to be upset. I know you guys are a little bit more sold on him than I am, but I do think that he is a solid pick. I just have questions on the fit, but I definitely want to do more research, before anything.
That's true. That's true. I mean, at this point of the draft, I don't mind. Now if we had drafted him at 11, then I'd be like, that's the extreme reach. But at number 20, I could see exactly that's where he was gonna be. Now I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to use some of those picks that we just got and try to move up into the second round, especially if a wide receiver begins to drop as far as you know, you're basically like unexpectedly.
Mhm. I mean, and I know you were thinking that Rashad Bateman could possibly fall to the second. I don't think he will, but if he does, I wouldn't. At that point, you got to go pick him up. But I think even if he fell to the second, teams in front of us will pick him up. But I think he'd be a good fit on the Ravens, to be honest with you. I think the Ravens would be solid. Um, I thought they were going to go edge in the second round, but it seems like they're going to go edge in the first round.
Is the pick in?
So, for
Um, for
Washington, no,
Washington,
not.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh
it is.
yeah, I'm
Okay, yeah.
seeing. Yeah, I'm seeing
Yep,
that it
it just
is, but they didn't announce it yet.
yeah, I just saw just now too. Okay, I got a notification from it for the pick. Do y'all want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know too much about the player, so y'all might have to inform me if y'all know him. But Washington is taking Kentucky linebacker Jamin Davis at 19.
Mm,
Wow. Huge reach.
mm,
This guy just moved up
yeah.
really late.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a big reach.
At the end of the
He's a
year,
star.
nobody was talking about him. And it's just like the last month. Everybody's been talking about him.
Mm,
At the end of the year, college people had him like third round. And for some reason, everybody's been talking about him. Now, he's a
Yo, the
good player, but
Washington
seriously,
fans, man, that was too
they're going to
funny.
be heated. They're going to be pissed about this.
Yo, you know what? Look, all I'm gonna say is I'm not even worried about Washington this year. I
You know what
want
that
Philly.
tells me?
That's all I
Washington
care
was
about. I
sitting
want
on
Philly.
Washington was sitting on Parsons.
I think either Parsons or Mac Jones.
No,
But
they really wanted Parsons, bro. Why?
Yeah.
Otherwise, why the hell would they
Yeah.
make him
As a
there?
linebacker, yeah, I definitely agree.
because we were
Definitely
talking about
agree.
that earlier. I did not want to see Micah Parsons over in Washington. I prefer him over at Dallas. I don't like it, but I prefer it over at Dallas compared to Washington.
And it didn't
I
make to
think
me. It didn't make sense in Dallas because they got two
it
middle
didn't.
linebackers.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So it's like, what do they do now with either of those linebackers? I think Jalen Phillips would be. Oh my God, Jalen Smith would be on the trade block for me because he's the one making the most money compared to the two linebackers.
Van Der Esch has his rookie year was good.
Mhm.
His last couple years have been not great. Been on the
Yeah,
team.
He's been very injury prone, but then again, it's their scheme because when you look at Dallas with those linebackers, it looks like they don't know what they're doing. Jalen Smith running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and Vander Esch, I don't know where he be going.
Yeah.
But
let's see.
All right, well, the Giants
are on the
clock.
Whew, man, we're gonna see. I'm very interested to see who the Giants take.
Don't be shocked if it's like Kadarius Toney right here.
I wouldn't be. But I wouldn't be mad about that because at the end of the day, we traded back. And what did you say? His squad, we got this first round, we got this year's 5th, and then we got next year's
4th,
first and next year's 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, we got some capital for it. If we traded back. If we go ahead with the edge, that's fine. We go ahead and reach for a wide receiver, that's fine too. I mean,
well, I don't think Kadarius Toney is a reach 20. I think it's right around where he's. That's why his name popped up.
Mm-hmm. I thought he was going to go late first round. I had him mocked again. I've been saying it, but I had him going to the Ravens. I thought he'd be a great fit. But if the Giants,
I thought he'd be good in Green Bay. I thought Green Bay would be a monster.
Green Bay needs some wide receiver help, man. I feel so sorry for Aaron Rodgers, man. I mean,
well, Aaron Rodgers just said that he don't want to be there today. Yeah, so he's trying to, basically get on out of this.
That's kind of tough shit. He's under contract.
I mean, but if you think about it, though, it's like Green Bay has been flirting with other people. If we're thinking about it from a relationship standpoint, but flirting with other people. If you think about it, pretty much gave their phone number to someone, which would be Jordan Love. All Aaron Rodgers did was just speed up the process. You guys selected your quarterback for the future. That's fine. I want out. I gave you an MVP year. We went to the playoffs. You guys still didn't provide me with the talent that I needed. I'm out. And I think that, honestly, I don't see him going this year. But I could see him going next year. I know I've seen Giants fans asking if he goes to the Giants. I don't think that at all.
No, not at all.
Nah. I'm not trying to be like the Eagles where they think everybody's going to them. So
yeah, nah.
Because it just seems like every player that hits the market, they're just like,
all right. So
we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him.
Who do y'all want, Pay or Ojulari?
Damn, man. I actually like Ojulari, to be honest.
Yeah. I was about to say, Ojulari is a better scheme fit. Pay is probably just a better overall edge. But
here's how you think about it. Who's the shit? I can't think of his name. Who's the edge guy that just got signed to Cleveland? He played in Seattle and came from.
Clowney.
Jadeveon Clowney. Now that's Kwity Paye. Yannick Ngakoue is Ojulari. That's the way I look at him.
Okay.
I like
Which
Ojulari.
one do you think's better in our system? That's the way I look at it.
I'm gonna go more Ojulari just because I already feel that Pay isn't the best fit in the system. Like I said, I know you guys have different opinions on that, but I would go the Ojulari route here. We're gonna see what happens. Joe Judge got a clean fade. Good for him. That boy needed a fade. Yeah, but no, we're gonna see, man. They're pacing back and forth.
I'm not complaining, but I would honestly lean towards Pay, just because at least they're gonna get solid, run defense until he can learn his pass rush moves. Because they both can, they're both athletic. Pay's a little bit more athletic, twitchy, I'd say. They both can grease the corner, you know what I mean? Get around the edge. They just need to both work on the moves. But at least to start with, Kwity Paye is going to be locked down in the run game. Is that it? Is the pick in?
Yeah. Yeah, it says the pick is in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says the pick is in.
Yeah. Wow.
Who did
Who they pick?
The Giants have selected Kadarius Toney.
There you go.
All right, there you go. You called it.
There you go, bro.
Hey, I'll take it.
That works. I'll take it. That works.
Listen, he's better. People have been sleeping on Kadarius. Telling you. He's a very. The reason why I haven't put him on any of my videos is because I just didn't think we'd be there. It's a little
Yeah.
too early to take him at 11. This was right
Yeah,
around the
but
age. I was starting to think about him.
yeah, well, you called it. You was spot on.
I like
You was
Bateman, but he
spot
just
on.
does not fit the scheme. He does not fit the scheme at all. Bateman.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. I was thinking of more Bateman towards the like closer towards like the second round, but hey, Tony, I'll definitely take it. It's another weapon for DJ. DJ, this is the year that he has to prove something, man. He has to come out there. He has to light it up. Jason Garrett has to let that man throw the ball down the field.
That's the question, though. Are we going to see the same kind of stuff where everybody just runs 5 yards and turns around, or are we going to actually see something?
But you know what? Kadarius Toney's a solid wide receiver now.
He is.
He's a solid wide receiver, and you know what? I think a lot of people look at that one highlight reel of him playing against Carolina. He had a nice run up the middle after the catch. I think at that point you saw that the speed is there, but he's a good route runner.
Oh, he's
not
athletic.
Not a great runner. He is not
athletic.
a great athlete.
He's sneaky athletic.
Wow, looking at all the Giants fans, they look all mad and everything. They got to do their research.
Yep, I'm not even.
Well,
upset.
that's the thing. When you get to this point in the draft,
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because like I got put into this like Giants group chat on Twitter, and there's one with the content creators, and then it's just Giants fans, and the one with the Giants fans, it's just all complaining. Why? Someone says who? I mean, it's my channel. I don't give a damn. But someone says, "Who the fuck is Kadarius Toney?" Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah. Well,
someone said could have gotten Elijah Moore. I'm sorry, I'm not sold on Elijah Moore.
No,
I am sold, but not Kadarius Toney. You feel me?
They also did the same shit about Hakeem Nicks. They weren't bitching about that in 2011, were they?
Exactly. Man.
This man is he's a speed demon. He's built. He can play the X, the Y, the Z. You can move him all over the place. You can do all kinds of things with him, and he's not like a skinny built type kid. He's he's like 6 foot, 199, but he's solid. I'm looking at him right now, like he is solid.
Yeah, this
solid.
This probably marks the end for Sterling Shepard.
Yes. Oh yes.
Absolutely.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's probably going to be a cap casualty next year unless he really falls out.
I honestly thought that even if they didn't get Toney, but they got Devontae Smith, it was over for Sterling Shepard going into next year because he has a low cap hit and he's getting up there in age. Why pay him that much if he's going to get up there in age and he really can't stay?
I think his contract's decent. It's like around $10 million a year.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's a good contract if he's healthy. That's the big thing. If he's healthy.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem.
But are you going to start Are you going to start Sterling Shepard over Darius Slayton?
No.
The only way that you would is because Darius Slayton isn't outside. He isn't a slot receiver. Right. That would be the only reason why.
Yeah, and I'm looking here. I mean, he did fairly decent last year. I'm looking here, 70 receptions, 984 yards, and 10 touchdowns. He led the team in receiving yards and receptions. So, hey, I'll take it. I think that's right there. That is your Sterling Shepard replacement. I think you're getting a better player possibly than Sterling Shepard, and I like Sterling Shepard.
Oh yeah, 100.
NYG 31. I don't think it's a reach. I think it's right around where he was supposed to go. From like 18 to the end of the first is right around where he could go.
NYG, if we would have picked him up at 11, or if we traded back kind of like a little earlier, not 20, then I could say definitely, okay, maybe that's a little bit of a reach. But with us being at pick 20, man, I mean, at that point you're getting a solid player, but I can't complain. I don't think it's a reach. I think if they would have selected like Elijah Moore, that might have been a little bit of a reach, but I like it. I really can't complain.
At the end of the day, if the player turns out to be really good, nobody cares. Nobody cares what
Yeah.
they drafted.
True.
If Kadarius Toney comes out in 5 years from now, he's a top 20 wide receiver in the NFL. Is everybody going? And if he got picked at 11, everybody going, great receiver, but boy, he got picked at 11 that year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that this is a good pick. This is a real good pickup. I seen him. My comparison to him was Percy Harvin, who also went to Florida, where you can use him in any way, shape, or form. Now Percy was more like when he came to the league, he just really messed up, and he really wasn't about that work ethic. But the coaching that we have, I believe that Tony will excel. Yeah, that is true too.
And you know something? It's like I had someone tell me this earlier today, and I think this is a very good point. In the 2013 draft, Tavon Austin, he was selected 8th overall. You also look at the rest of the players that were drafted. But if you look at 27, DeAndre Hopkins was drafted there. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but what my point and reason why I bring that up is you can find very good talent towards the ending of the first round. Now, the Giants right here, they're in a good position because they're not reaching, and they're still getting a solid player that could come in and be a day one starter. I think there's going to be some competition there between him, Sterling, and Darius Slayton. I don't know. I think I would not be surprised, and I don't see it happening, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kadarius Toney came in and became the number 3 wide receiver. To be honest with you,
I don't see that. I don't see that happening straight off the back. What I
yeah,
do see happening, he's going to prove himself on special teams. He's going to prove himself in the punt game and in the kicking, and on the kick return, and that's how he's going to move. That's how he's going to work his way more so into that slot position where he's going to get a bigger role. Because right now, as a rookie, he doesn't have that big role, and we really don't want Peppers back there, guys that can actually produce either on offense or defense, getting hurt doing punt or kick. So this guy, he's definitely going to be the one returning the punts, returning the kicks, and I think he's going to make a big splash there.
yeah, and he would be deadly in the punt return game because we all know that Joe Judge, he really wants these players that come in and that are versatile. And yeah, you're getting that. You're getting that with Kadarius Toney. That was honestly one of the reasons why I wanted the Giants to go take the Jalen Waddle if he was there, because I thought that he would be not only just a great outside or in the slot wide receiver, but he would be perfect in punt and on the punter team. And I think that with Kadarius Toney, obviously not on the same level as a Jalen Waddle, but he's still very solid in the return.
What's his weight?
And
did you look him up? His weight?
200.
All right, yeah, he's solid.
Well, 199. He's 5'11", 199.
Solid.
Yep, 22 years old.
I was thinking he was a little bit lighter than that for some reason. Well, yeah,
because the way that he moves. Because the way that he moves is.
Yeah, he's athletic.
This is a good pick. I honestly, I don't know about you guys. I'm happy. I'm cool with it.
Other than edge rusher, it was the one thing that I was, you know what I mean? It was popping right in my head. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I like the pick. I like the pick.
I really can't complain here. Honestly, I'll take it. I will take it. But
Look,
man,
they was able to.
Oh, what are you saying?
They was able to trade down, get some more capital, especially for next year and this year, and still get DJ another weapon. I think that's a win.
Yeah, you are absolutely right, man. Because you're getting a stud of a wide receiver, and if worst case scenario, right? Which I don't want to read too much into it, but worst case scenario, that extra first round pick, if Daniel Jones doesn't work out, don't be surprised if the Giants use that as a trade package, to go get themselves a quarterback.
Absolutely.
And I wouldn't. I don't get me wrong. I'm a DJ fan, but I am a Giants fan before anything. And I'm gonna trust Joe Judge at this point. If that's what the Giants feel is the best option, I gotta go with it. I like it.
Yeah, definitely 100% agree with that, because now when you look at it, even if DJ isn't the guy, this team is kind of sort of built. So when the next quarterback steps in, it's going to be like a Russell Wilson. It's going to be like a Dak Prescott type situation where the offensive line is going to have some years in front of them. So they're going to be able to have, they're just going to be overall better. We got a number one wide receiver in Galladay. You got the wide receivers overall. You'll still have Saquon Barkley because we just got him on the 5th-year option. So that rookie quarterback will be coming into a way better situation than Daniel Jones ever thought of.
For
Oh,
real.
absolutely, man. Absolutely. And it's if it doesn't work out, whoever comes in is set, man.
Hmm.
I'll tell you that much because they are getting a top 10 defense and they're getting some weapons. And
Hmm.
I'm not. I honestly, Daniel Jones got no excuse for me this year. I had some excuses for him, last season, but for me, this is the make or break season. And I know that the Giants are sold on him. They want to give him every opportunity, but at the same time, like I don't know. I feel like at some point, if it's not working out, man, you can't be like Chicago and just kind of keep stretching it out, stretching it out. You gotta switch it up. If it's not working, fix it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Dan. I mean, I'm with you. This is the prove it year but this is what good organizations do. They put their quarterback in the best situation possible, in the best
Yep.
situation that they can do. They want them to succeed. Now, if they don't succeed, then that's not the guy. But they are doing their best to make sure that he has the weapons, he has the offensive line, he has the running back, he has everything intact. And from the skills that we've already seen with Danny, I mean, he definitely has some things to work on, but he has the skills to get it done. Now, this is going to be the year to see if he gets it done.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And at this point, oh wait, we got NYG 31 coming in real quick. Hold on, what we got more people. Hey, I'll take it.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine.
Hey, what's going on, NYG 31? What's going on, my man?
Yo, what's up? I
Yo,
What's
what's
am
up?
not
up?
happy with this pick because who Kadarius
Oh,
Kadarius
my
what's his
man,
last name again?
Tony.
Tony,
Tony.
Tony.
Kadarius Tony.
Yeah.
Kadarius
You don't
Tony.
like him?
He's more of a second round pick. He's not I think the Giants reach on it. I think they could have got an edge rusher, maybe Quiddy Pay or maybe Greg Rousseau, maybe. Because we need an edge rusher so bad.
Hmm.
Even though we're top 10 in sacks,
There's
right?
edge rushers in the second round.
We could have got Quiddy Pay, and then if Kadarius Tony was there in the second round, we could have picked him up instead.
NYG 31, he wasn't going to be there. He wasn't making it past Green
Yeah,
Bay. He
yeah.
wasn't going to be there.
He might have not have. I mean, but I do understand what you're trying to say. Even if Kadarius Tony wasn't there, this is a deep wide receiver class. But I think it's clear that the Giants
Mhm.
wanted to go wide receiver, regardless of whether that was at 11 or at 20, obviously. But I honestly, Devontae Smith was their guy, and I think that with Philly trading up
But
and taking
yeah,
him, they needed. They've got him in. I mean, as much as I don't want to, as much as I don't want to admit it, he is on the hot seat because
He's
if
not
Daniel
getting
Jones,
fleeced.
yeah, he doesn't want to get fleeced, and honestly, he
right.
didn't get fleeced. He
Nah,
he really didn't. That man
but
for his first trade back, I'll give him credit.
but NYG, but for real, you got to look at it this way, okay?
I mean,
So,
I give him credit too.
well, but we got to look at it this way
Yeah,
though.
like I said, I'll give him credit
We
too.
traded
But
we traded from 11. We stocked up draft picks for this year and next year, and also got a number one. And then the draft pick that
hmm
we ended up getting is somebody who can definitely affect the offensive side and also the special team side for this upcoming year, and who can possibly take over Sterling Shepard's role because Sterling Shepard is definitely getting older, and we should not be paying him all this money for having 50 million concussions. So, I mean, the draft pick, I mean, in my opinion,
right.
is
I
good.
get you. I get
Yeah.
you. I get
Mhm.
you. I mean, I
What you
Well,
think, man?
I get you, but I
Mhm.
wanted an edge rusher in the
I think
in
we
that
all
first
did.
round because we
Mhm.
could still get a wide receiver, even though we don't could get Kadarius Tony. We could get another wide receiver like a Rashad Perriman or something. We could have got him in the second round if he falls, but I think he was taken.
Well,
Yeah,
let me tell
man.
you
It's
something.
But the
I don't know.
guys who
Pay,
are really
Pay
looking
and
at
Ojolari, you're
is a
counting on
is
them
like an
coming in and improving their
Alabama
pass rush.
center.
Uh huh.
Oh, what happened? Huh?
Oh no, no. You could keep
I
going, your
mean,
monkey.
we need pass rush anyway because I don't trust Lorenzo Carter. Because even though he did good earlier this season last year, he got hurt,
Mhm.
Oh no,
and
I'm on.
Well, let's see who gets
that's
picked.
I'm on
Let's see
he
who
live
gets
wasn't a
with
picked,
factor.
Akil.
three
So
of the Giant
Let's look at the board
players,
when it's our pick in the second. Let's see. If somebody like Joe
the
Tryon
Giant
dropped to the
YouTubers.
second,
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take Joe Tryon if he's there in the second round. I don't
listen,
care what no one says.
he could be a 10 sack guy in a couple of years down the road.
Hmm. And
Well,
honestly, with the coaches that we have here, especially Patrick Graham, he's going to be
hmm.
used correctly. He's going to be in the positions. And think about it, because Easy Three had mentioned this earlier. Look, if we look at our defensive line, that already takes pressure off of whoever we bring in at the edge rush. We got Leonard Williams down there. We signed a Fedi Udetobo. We got
hmm
we got we got some studs down there, and we also I think I honestly think that our secondary is going to be very good this year. I'm very excited to see what our secondary is going to do.
I think Afini's
true.
going to surprise people.
Oh,
I'm telling you right
oh
now.
yeah.
I think he's locking
Oh
hmm
down
yeah,
one of them edge rusher rooms.
I
Yeah.
honestly yeah.
And Carter at his worst, he's going to be a
Guys,
proactive
don't
guy.
you think we're gonna get another safety
No.
I don't think so.
Nah, I
I would
don't think.
hope
I don't
so.
think. I don't think that
in
we're
the
gonna
like
get
in the
anybody
12th,
else in the
fourth, or third
secondary.
round?
No, I think your next two picks you're going to see guard and edge rusher. That's what I think. That's
Oh,
what you're.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm thinking probably edge rusher and then
Yep.
guard.
I
Yep.
exactly. I really do think. I think that they
I'll probably
value the
thinking with a
offensive line
linebacker
more
too.
than us. Yeah, that would be solid too. That would be solid as
I
well.
mean, but the thing is that like with the linebacker, everybody really wants like a coverage linebacker, and people are really forgetting that Lorenzo Carter really ranked out as the top outside linebacker in coverage the year that he played fully, not this past year, but the year before. He's
Mhm.
athletic enough to be a coverage linebacker,
You can
but
kick him in the middle.
also, yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
also we don't really know what he can do with this coaching staff
Mhm.
because Pat Shermer's coaching and the coaching staff was terrible.
Yeah, you right there, man. And I know a lot of people were sold on Pat Shermer, and I liked
Mhm.
Pat Shermer, but that
I
man
like
needed
this
to
offense.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked his offense. I didn't like him as a coach, but I got a lot of shit for this earlier in the season.
I
Similar,
wasn't really sold on him though.
hmm
no,
You know what
I
though? I
wasn't
gotta
either.
give him some credit because the team never quit on him. I'll at least give him credit for that.
Mhm.
Well,
Like the
because he
team
was a
that's
nice
never quit.
guy. I mean, he was a nice guy. I mean, you could. I mean, you seen how he spoke, and you seen how well mannered he was. Man, you can't bully
And
that guy. Like he's too nice to bully. Like
He just never took control of the defense.
that is
That's
true.
the downside of hiring a coach that's only offense or defense. Got to worry about
hmm
the other side.
True.
unfortunately, man, I mean, and that's what I like about Joe Judge is that with him being a special teams coordinator, he has to deal with so many players, and he has to
Yes.
deal with, not just on the offensive side, but on the defensive side of the ball. And that was one of those things that I really valued when the Giants brought him in.
It was a ballsy move by firing Pat Shermer. You got a rookie quarterback. You got to change a whole new system in the second year. That's a ballsy move just to move on right
Yeah, I agree with you there. It was a
there.
ballsy move. Um, I thought it was a ballsy move to do that and still keep Gettleman. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
I can say I got really scared when Gettleman got up there and he said, "Oh, Daniel Jones. Oh yeah, he was 100% Pat Shermer. He was the one that showed me." I was like, "Oh my God, this is not good."
Yeah, it's
Well, that is why he was drafted, to come in and run Pat
Forgot.
Shermer's offense. It is what it
Yeah.
is.
Well, as a fan, you don't want to hear that the coach that that just got fired was
Yeah.
was the main reason because you picked your quarterback and you're supposed to be the franchise guy. I do not want to
I'm
hear
there. I'm there with you, man. I mean,
that.
I was always in the camp of if you're going to fire Dave Gettle,
Yeah,
excuse me,
but I
Pat
don't think
Shermer,
they
you got
knew
to
they were going to
fire him.
put yourself in Gettleman's shoes real quick. You're not thinking before the season starts and the draft is there that, oh, I'm going to fire this coach anyway. So,
No, you're right. You're right. And
Mhm.
I get what you're saying. I mean, it was one of those things for me. Where it's like, usually they'll get rid of the GM with the coach.
oh, true.
So I was a little shocked that they didn't do that. But I think it's paid off. I'm not one of those people, like I was telling you earlier, Giant Opinion Sports. I'm not one of those people that will. It's gonna bash Dave Gettleman 24/7. I'm aware of the positives that he's done. I think he's
Yeah.
fairly
Yo,
good at
guys, I'll be
drafting.
back for a second. I guess I
Do
just
you
gotta
think, man?
step out.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think? I think that when there's a lot to take from what Dave Gettleman has done. There's been some bad moves, but there's been some solid moves that Dave Gettleman has done, and even with this free agency, I know that Joe Judge is getting a lot of credit, but at the end of the day, Dave Gettleman still had a part in that.
Yeah.
He
Joe
I
deserves
Judge
mean,
is getting
credit.
all the credit by
yeah.
people that don't like
Yeah.
Gettleman.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's like I got to give credit to both. I can't just give it to one.
I mean, with Gettleman, I just like the way that he came in with an unorthodox style. The Giants always did business, this kind of way and it wasn't working. Gettleman came in, shook things up. You know, a lot of people don't like him, but some people do. I'm one of the people that is like just middle ground with him. He
Mhm.
did some good, he did some bad, but I like the unorthodox style that he brought. But what's gonna end up
Yeah,
happening, and I'm saying, and I'm telling y'all this right now, what's gonna end up happening, he's not going to get fired. What's going
I
to
don't think so.
happen, yeah, no, he's going to end up retiring because of medical issues, quote unquote, or because the job is getting too much for him. And it's either going to be Abrams or they're going to hand all the reins over to Joe Judge.
No, it's
And
going
that's
to
how
Abrams.
yeah, but the problem is that Abrams is just a money guy. So
No,
then you
no,
would have
no,
to.
no. He's assistant GM now. They've been working him into this role forever.
Oh,
So do you think that explains why they've been trying to put him in the media more?
Oh yeah,
possibly, yeah.
they're working him in, and this year they finally put him in right in meetings and taking questions.
Right.
He's
Yeah, but
going to be
Dave
the next
Gettleman.
GM, whether we like it or not. He's been groomed for
Yeah.
this shit.
Okay. I mean,
No, I listen. It could be possible. They just say, here's Joe Judge, take it. I just
I
don't think
mean,
that's wise with such a young coach.
what I think that they'll probably do, they'll probably make Abrams the general manager, and they'll make Judge the assistant so that he doesn't have so much on his plate. But basically, Judge is the talent scouter type guy, and Abrams, since he comes from the money background, he'll be able to take all all the salary caps and
That's a
things of
good
that
point that
nature.
you make there. That's a good point that you make there. I got to be honest with you. That's a good point
Mhm.
that you make. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so that's well, like they're grooming him because, of course, the general manager has to be in front of the public and everything of that nature. But when it comes to the scouting, Joe Judge knows his stuff, and when it comes to
Hmm.
the money, Abrams knows his stuff. Just gonna put those two together. That's what I think. I mean, but I know that Dave Gettleman is not gonna get fired. He's gonna either retire or they're gonna just be like, yeah, this is too much for him at his old age.
Yeah, and I thought that honestly, I thought that exact situation was what's going to happen with Dave Gettleman going into this year. To be honest with you, not to this year, excuse me, going into last year, I thought that he was going to step down, and I thought that it would have made sense as opposed to them just firing him, which I don't
Uh-huh.
see the Giants doing. For some reason, I feel like they kind of learned with how they treated Tom Coughlin when they fired him.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we can make the same excuses for Ben McAdoo and Pat Shermer, who were just like straight up fired. But I just
Yeah.
don't see them firing Dave Gettleman. To your point, Easy 3. I just don't see it happening. I could see him coming down. I could see him honestly taking like a front office role and him not even like really retiring.
Yeah.
VP, personnel VP or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to kind of like update, before you guys keep going in, just to update it. So 2 of the players that was selected after us, Kwity Paye went to the Colts, and Caleb Farley went to the Tennessee Titans.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Caleb Farley went this early. Wow.
And the Minnesota Vikings, they just selected the tackle from Virginia Tech.
Darrisaw.
Yep.
Yes, there we go.
Yep, Christian
Yep.
Darrisaw.
Yep.
Christian Darrisaw.
For them.
But
good player. I like him.
Yeah.
I thought he should have went ahead of Leatherwood, but hey, what do I know, right?
Leatherwood, that's crazy. Freaking John Gruden. He does this every year.
Yeah.
But this is the same man that reached for Clinton Farrell, so yeah.
I like him.
That's the
Too,
same
though.
man that
I liked him too.
I liked him too, but not at 4.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know,
but at
I
the
liked
end of
him.
the day, the draft is it's unpredictable. So
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
absolutely. Flip a coin.
I mean, yeah, like people can say, "Oh man, they reached," or they didn't, or it's just an inexact science. It's you pick the player, can you coach the player to be to where he wants to be, and is he gonna have the work ethic? Those are the.
And honestly, 3-4 years from now, he could be a top 10 edge rusher. Sometimes these guys, it just takes a while to click. That's why I'm not all on that make or break year for Daniel Jones. I just want to see him improve. You know what I mean? Obviously, you got to have more than 11 touchdowns, but it depends if we're running the same offense. Well, here's my thought. We saw Daniel Jones have perfect games last year, towards the middle, towards the end, and he's got 1 touchdown. Because they're just running the ball, pounding the ball, get it down on the goal line, hand it off. So I'm not saying, obviously, I want to see a couple touchdowns a game or something. So I want to see multiple touchdown games. But if we're going to be running the same exact offense, which pitiful as we are, I'll be freaking out on my channel. What can we honestly expect?
This is what I expect. I don't expect too much with the numbers. I expect Daniel Jones to be able to lead this offense, not to be 31st in the league, to at least being 16th in the league, at least be in middle of the pack type offense, because you have a top 10 defense on your squad. Like, imagine how good that defense would have looked and how good their numbers would have looked, because they came in 8th overall. Imagine how good that defense would have looked if it was just a subpar type offense where they wasn't on the field as much as they was, or wasn't put in situations as much as they were. If we was just a mediocre offense, like, the record would be so different. So I'm not looking for like 30 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and stuff like that.
I'm telling you right now, most Giants fans are. I've had multiple people go on my channel and say, DJ needs to have 34 touchdowns this year. He needs to go. Like, what?
No, I'm looking.
Who uses that stick? But this is how Giants fans are. And they never liked the kid to begin with. So they're going to have like unrealistic, they're going to put on unrealistic shit on him.
Yeah. That's the point.
If I say anything about it, I'm like some kind of propaganda for Daniel Jones.
But that's the point right there, is that they didn't like him from the beginning. People will give a longer leash to whoever that they like. And if they don't like him, they have a short leash. And they didn't like the pick. They didn't like Daniel Jones as the pick, so they're gonna give him a short leash. So I mean, for me, what I'm expecting from DJ this year is possibly like in between 20 plus passing touchdowns, being able to secure the ball, not turning the ball over as much with the interceptions and the fumbles, being able to lead the offense down the field, getting them in the red zone, getting some points, and then letting your defense really do what they do. That's what I'm looking for this year.
I hear that, but I guarantee you Giants fans flip their shit. That's all they get.
No, I'm going to be honest with you. What I'm seeing here, man, God, it's moments like these that I'm just kind of like, some of the fans be pissing me off, because it's like, I'm not going to go on the limb and say what you said, Giant Opinion Sports, where we're kind of like Philly fans. I don't think that at all. I just think that we can be
they're very
annoying.
similar. They're very similar.
There's
Yes, we are.
similarities. There's similarities, but I don't think we're as crazy as Eagle fans, if that makes sense.
Well, the younger kids, I get why they're impatient because I'm 35, so I got to see all of Eli's career, that whole stretch. I was
True.
around. Kerry Collins came over, and
Don't make
saw
me
that
feel
stretch
old
where
now.
we were
Shit.
good.
Don't make you feel old.
I
I
mean,
mean, I'm
young.
31.
Excuse me. Oh, damn.
I mean,
I'm the
I'm
youngest one here.
31, and I got to see everything that he's saying right now. So
So when
Nah,
everybody's talking about the Daniel Jones stuff, it's like, listen, chill. I sat
man.
here and watched Eli. Everybody was calling for him to go to,
mhm.
and it just like in that fourth year, it just clicked. But if we
Exactly.
would have went by the standards that we're putting on Daniel Jones right now for Eli's third year, Eli would have been shipped the hell out of here.
Exactly.
Gone.
Yep. And you
So
know
as
what?
long as I can visibly see him improve and run the offense to perfection, maybe the offense sucks. But if the eye test tells me that he's better, he's improved, I don't think it's a first of all, make or break year. That's every year for a quarterback anyway. Now, you could be so horrible you could have a break year. Anybody can, but I don't want to put a number on it. I just want to see him play better. Again, like you said, I want turnovers to go down.
Yeah.
Because if it's the same offense, I don't think it really matters who the hell the receivers are. If they're all just going to run to the sticks and turn around.
Yeah, and honestly, Jason Garrett has to be better with that. I know that we brought in some offensive assistants. I know we promoted Freddie Kitchens. We're gonna see. I know a lot of Giants fans don't like Jason Garrett. I'm actually one of those Giants fans. I liked him coming in, but I just don't have faith. But I'm gonna give it time. I'm not gonna rush it. And
Steal, dude. Steal somebody else's concepts. I don't care. Just steal it from somebody. Can't do
You
what
know?
we did last year.
exactly. And you know what? My thing is, see, I'm younger than y'all. I'll give y'all my age. See, I'm 24. I'm about to be 25.
Spring chicken.
Yeah, spring chicken. But it's like definitely the younger generation. The younger generation for sure, because really the people that are complaining, from what I'm seeing, seems like the younger generation.
I get
I'm
why,
seeing
though.
people call this a reach.
It's
Well, they're
not
gonna.
yeah,
Exactly.
like
Why the hell?
but I don't
First of all,
but
why
I
would you ever call somebody a reach if you never even seen them take a snap? So I don't even take that serious. Anybody who
I
says
don't
that,
take it serious either. It's a couple people. There's one content creator going at another person because another person's saying that the Giants should have never traded,
it's
and I'm
probably
like,
bad
bruh,
dog, right?
nah,
you got another first round draft pick. Now this is
exactly, man.
now this is what's going to end up happening now when we solidify ourselves and we win the division, and then next year we have 2 draft picks and people are gonna see another prospect that's like Gaga that we want them and everything like that.
I bet you it's a
You
middle
actually
linebacker that runs 4-4.
exactly you can possibly trade those 2 to move up or whatever the case may be. Like that is gold that you have in your
Listen,
hand. You have
that pick could
another
turn into a number
first.
1 pick.
Exactly.
And can I say this real quick? And I'm gonna say this for whoever comes and watches this and whatnot. My thing is, not only do you trade back and you get another first round pick, your 5th round pick in which you traded for Leonard Williams 2 years ago, you're getting a future 4th as well. And on top of that, you still picked up a stud wide receiver. Yeah, I had my eyes set on other players, but I'm not mad at this. I can't be mad at
We
this.
got the Odell Beckham Hall for this.
Exactly.
We're moving back 9 spots. We got the Odell Beckham.
Yes.
And it would have been different if we traded this far back and got, I don't know, I would understand this if we did this and reached back for like a defensive tackle, which I would have been mad. But
Yes.
it's like I see
That would have been perfect. That would have been a great Gettleman move.
This is a deleted tweet. Freak, man. What the Okay, so there's like this Giants insider that I've been following. I actually really respect his opinion. Very, very knowledgeable dude. But this one here, for him giving that draft pick a C, I'm sorry, my man. You ain't too smart. I thought you were knowledgeable before. I still think you do. But
well,
He may be right,
because
he may be wrong. We'll see.
yeah,
we'll see.
but the biggest thing with everything is you got to understand, a lot of Giant fans aren't as crazy as in like focused in on certain prospects, like how
Exactly.
content creators are, or just like how crazy Giants fans are. So they
Yeah.
don't know who this guy is. They're
Right,
just
they
like,
don't
oh
know.
wow. Yeah, because they was only
They're
thinking
casual
from,
fans.
yeah, they was only thinking the number 11 pick. So they was thinking Parsons, they was thinking Slater, they was thinking Smith, Waddle, all these different scenarios. But now once you drop back lower, now they're like, oh my God, I don't know anybody that's supposed to be back there.
Right.
Like, but this guy, he's right in the range. Like I'm gonna keep saying it. Giant, Giant's opinion, you hit the nail right on the head. Because I wasn't
Yeah.
thinking about him. I had forgot about him for real, for real.
I wasn't thinking about him. I didn't even think we were going to trade back. To be real with you,
Yeah, I mean, but once we
Oh,
did,
I
I
thought
mean,
we were
that
going to trade
opened up.
back with New England.
I just
When
I don't know.
when I seen that trade coming out, I was like, oh yeah, we trade back with New England. It said the Bears. I was looking on my phone. I'm like, wait a minute, when the Bears pick? Hold on.
But it's I really can't be upset at this. I really can't be.
Hmm.
I'm excited to see what Kadarius Toney does. I like what you mentioned about him kind of going through the ranks from the special teams route.
Mhm.
Um, and honestly, man, it's the Giants are in a good position. I think that with how they executed free agency, they could go anywhere that they want.
Exactly.
We had holes, and we still got some holes that we got to fix, of course. But we have. I'm very confident with how this team is being built. I'm very confident in Joe Judge, and I think that, man, you can't be upset with what the Giants have done today. You want to be upset that they didn't get Micah Parsons or Rashawn Slater. By all means, be my guest. That's fine. But if the player that they wanted, which I think we can all see now, was Devontae Smith.
Yep. That's what
If
was everybody was saying too.
Mhm.
Exactly. And at that point, and I just read this quote, and this was a Dave Gettleman quote. He said, at 11, hold on, my phone just closed. Um, he said, at 11, the value that we received, I would have been an idiot to turn it down. You are
Exactly.
absolutely right, Dave
Yeah,
Gettleman.
exactly.
Yeah.
You are
Exactly.
absolutely right
They were
because
given value like it was a top 5 pick at 11.
Yeah,
yeah, look at
true.
what the Cowboys got. I mean, yeah, that's only two spots, yeah, but they only got a third round pick. That's it. They got the first where Philly was and a third round pick. They didn't even get a second round pick. And it's like I'll take it. Yeah, we jumped down 9 spots. That's more than two, but we got a first, a fourth, a fifth, and a stud wide receiver. I I will
I
take.
say we made out pretty damn good. That's what I say.
And you know what? I'm gonna drink to that. You damn right we did. You
Like,
damn right
I already
you
had
think
my
back the
two
last
drinks.
think back the last
we
20 years, Kadarius Toney, maybe other than Beckham, has been the biggest kind of wide receiver prospect we brought in here.
Yeah, yeah,
Akeem
you're
Nicks
right.
was an end of the first round, beginning of the second round kind of prospect.
Hmm.
Take Odell Beckham out of the picture, and this is the biggest in a long time.
Yeah, since Amani.
Oh well,
To be real with you,
Amani was a
Amani
third
wasn't.
round.
I mean, I'm saying like in terms of like the impact that
I
the
think
wide
Ike
receiver had in
Hilliard.
the
I
organization.
think when we drafted Ike Hilliard, he was a little early, but it was after
I
him.
think he was too. Yeah.
I mean, look, we may not find the wide receiver that's going to give us the same production as OBJ. Maybe we do, but
You never know.
with
No,
exactly, but with
I was about to say I don't think we will, because if we look at Odell Beckham, he's probably the most talented wide receiver that came out since Randy Moss. If we truly look at everything that he can do.
I don't know. I'm
yeah.
taking a few before
Who?
I mean, with the injuries,
Calvin Johnson.
maybe.
I take Calvin Johnson for him. Julio
Well,
Jones,
no, because remember,
Hopkins.
like I'm just talking about when they're coming out of college. Because remember, Calvin Johnson, when he came out, he only ran two type of routes. He ran a post and he ran a streak. It was just that he was just
That's the
so
system,
big.
though. They said the same shit about
Yeah,
DK Metcalf.
true,
Oh yeah,
I don't know
oh
true.
why.
yeah.
There's this like stigma they put on receivers. Well, they can't help it if their coaches only. Well, if you got a player like that, why the hell you want to run anything else other than Down to the end.
Exactly. And we're hoping that Darius Slayton can learn more from the route tree because before he was only doing flies and comeback routes.
I think he's a better route runner than people give credit for.
I don't think he's terrible. I really
No,
don't,
he's
but I think
not.
he
He's
needs to
not.
improve.
No, I think Slayton is in his natural position now as a wide receiver too, because him going up against those number one corners, he couldn't get
Brutal,
open.
man.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he just couldn't get open. But now since Galladay's there, he's gonna take the number one corner, and now he's getting back into his natural spot as a wide receiver too. I think he's gonna flourish this year.
I think everybody's going to flourish this year. As long as Jason Garrett pulls his, I just say Garrett. If he pulls his head out of his, you know what?
Yeah.
Actually put some deeper routes. How can you not though?
I mean, you're right. I mean,
I'm just trying to keep it realistic, man.
Yeah, no. I mean, you got me there. I mean, I
don't want to be a homer.
No. I think there's a big difference between being a homer and just pointing the facts out. And I think you pointed the facts out, to be real with you.
Yeah.
The only game I really was like, yeah, it's starting to turn around was the Bucks game. And of course, Daniel Jones has the worst game of his career that game.
Yep, that game. Oh my God, that game.
Yeah, that was bad.
If we would have ran our offense like Jason Garrett was calling it in that Bucks game, I'd have no problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have no problem with anything.
That was just outside of Daniel Jones, I mean, I think that when you look at that game, that was the game, at least for me, that said, okay, this team has some potential. Yeah. This team has some potential because I don't think a lot of people thought that, the Bucks were going to win it all and go. There's some people that thought that they were going to go to the Super Bowl, but I didn't think they were going to win it all.
No, I thought that they will just make the playoffs. They'll get to like the second round, maybe the conference championship, and maybe they'll lose. I'm thinking like this year, this would be the year for the Bucks. But
yeah. And a lot of people want to talk about how Taylor Heineke played, which he did solid in the playoff game. But it's like I thought the Giants played the Bucks a little better than what Washington did. Yeah, Daniel Jones didn't play too well, but I think that if Daniel Jones, if we take out one of those interceptions, I think that we win that game.
Probably win the game.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
And
the drive at the end would have been the game winner. Not the...
Exactly. And it's like, and that was one hell of a throw by Daniel Jones. It's like there's some plays I see from Daniel Jones where it's like, okay, that's a good one. I like it. And then there's other ones where I'm just like, man, what are you doing?
Yeah,
man?
but
it's
like how long did we do that with
with
Eli Manning?
That was just
Easy three were there. How many times did we just put our hands on our head and go, "Oh my God"? Well, and Eli used to have way worse games, like 4 or 5 interception games. Where you're just like, what are you doing? What is this? And he's got a stupid look on his face, like, God, how do I stick up for this guy?
I used to watch the games with my pops, and my pops would be screaming at the TV, and he'd be like, "Look at your fucking face. Look at your face." And it's just Eli looking in the camera, confused. It's slowed down. They're going into commercial break. And I'm like, man, but that's my quarterback,
I always stuck in with him.
But Daniel Jones, I guess he just fits into the old school mold of a gunslinger because that's what he does. He tries his hardest to make a play when it's not there. He's kind of like Ben Roethlisberger in his younger days, just a little bit more mobile. Did the same exact thing. He threw a whole bunch of interceptions because he's trying to make a play.
Team, though.
Exactly, exactly. And I truly hate it when people say, "Oh yeah, Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer." And Ben Roethlisberger is a Hall of Famer, but Eli, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. If you gave Eli that Pittsburgh team, he wins 4 Super Bowls. If you give Eli that Chargers team that he had, he wins at least 3 Super Bowls. Those had a Hall of Fame offensive talent on that squad. Eli has not played with not one Hall of Fame offensive talent that you could sit up here and name.
You could say maybe Plaxico, but he shot himself in the leg.
Exactly, and then that was it. But then after that, nobody else.
And by the time we got Odell, the defense was last. The offensive line was decimated. Got Eric Flowers, Bobby Hart out
Exactly. But if you put Eli, and the statistic that I love to bring up is that in our Super Bowl year, in the '07 year, our defense was ranked overall 17th. In the 2011 year, our defense was ranked overall 27th. He did not
I thought
have
it
a
was 28.
defense. Yeah, 27th, 28th, around there. But you can't say that the defense carried him. Now, we had the number one pass rushing, but after that, like everything else was trash. But then when you're looking at Big Ben had an overall defensive top, number one, number three, number four when he went, number two. Like he always had that.
Take 2011 season, Eli Manning, the regular season and that postseason run. Name me
That was one.
one season Philip Rivers or Ben Roethlisberger had that was better than that one.
Yeah, no,
No.
nothing.
And look, I'm gonna
Nothing.
say this much: when it comes to the conversation of Eli Manning and if he should be in the Hall of Fame, you can't tell the story of the NFL in the 2000s
Yes.
without Eli Manning.
Yes.
He's the
You-
best
you
postseason quarterback in NFL history.
No, exactly. No, you can't tell the
Exactly,
story. You can't tell the story of the NFL because what people forget is that he didn't want to go to the Chargers. It's only been two quarterbacks that said, "Hey, I'm not going there. You're gonna have to, do something." That was John Elway and Eli Manning, and those two sat there, went to a different place, and got two Super Bowls. Like you can't tell the story of the NFL without telling it with Eli.
You're
Well,
you're
Eli
100%.
wanted. I catch shit from Eli about talking with Eli. He wanted to come to New York for the market. He wanted to sell himself.
Mhm.
Can you
And
blame?
like, and a lot of Giant fans come to me like, well, he loved the team and he had heart and all this. It's like I'm not saying that, but he came here for the market. Name me one interview that he went on where he wasn't holding a Gatorade bottle or something to sell.
I mean,
No,
hey,
you're right.
that's. Well, he knew the business. Well, Archie taught him the business because Archie told him, "It's like, yeah, no, you don't want to go to San Diego. San Diego's, they're not a good team and it's not a good market." Now, Archie was wrong because they were a good team, and in 2006 they got LT who won the MVP. But outside of that, like he was right. They just didn't have that market.
Yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with the team. I just think it was like San Diego's the place where quarterbacks go to die. Would you rather be in San Diego, like doing surfboard commercials, or do you want to
No,
be
you're not
Nike,
wrong.
Gatorade, and you're in New
Yeah,
York?
yeah, not wrong. I mean,
Giants
right
fans get
now,
mad at me though when I talk about that. Though, like Eli made a strategic move to get himself to New York.
And you can't blame him either. And
no.
I think it ended up working out for both teams. Philip Rivers worked out for, San Diego. Unfortunately, they didn't go out to win a Super Bowl, but I really do think that's more Philip Rivers' fault than anything. You have
Yes.
Ladainian and Tomlinson. I mean, man, that's LT.
I
That's
mean,
LT. I mean, well, that's I know we got
yeah.
LT. You know what I
How
mean? But
dare you? How dare you call that?
I'm
It's,
sorry,
it's
man.
I mean, and look. I mean, that's the man's nickname. I mean, that's the man's initials, so we can't really like take it away from.
Yeah,
But it was
hey,
more
look,
to,
Ladarius Thomas,
yeah,
Ladanian, excuse me.
yeah, and he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, he's one of the best running backs that we've seen. So
He
we
was
can't
amazing.
yes, he was,
For a
but
while, like he was just untackable. He had
mhm,
his juke moves were unbelievable.
it's just
Yeah.
crazy.
And
Yeah,
Exactly.
he was
he
great.
had Antonio Gates, he had Mike Williams,
Exactly. Exactly.
he had what's his name? Keenan
He had a
Allen,
Keenan
Hunter
Allen. Yeah.
Henry.
before Keenan Allen. They had another big, tall, really good wide
Oh,
receiver. I can't think of his name.
the dude that just died, Vincent.
Yeah. He was really good. People don't realize how
Yeah.
good he
Mhm.
was. He was kind of like Mike Evans nowadays. He
Yeah.
was that good.
True. But
Yeah.
my question is, whenever anybody asks, "Hey, did Eli really win those Super Bowls and things of that nature?" Is if you put
Yeah.
Eli on that '06 team, on that '06 Chargers team, do they win that? Do they get to the Super Bowl and win? If you
Probably.
put Eli on that '05 and '08 Steelers team, do they win the Super Bowl? Yes.
Yeah.
If he was with the Steelers, I tell you right now, Eli would legitimately be compared to Terry Bradshaw because he would have like 4 or 5 Super Bowls because that defense was amazing. James Harrison, uh, uh, Troy Polamalu, Ryan Clark, all those guys, man,
Yeah.
they were just a stud of a defense.
Well, you know what I say to people when
What's
they
it?
say Eli Manning never won them games? I always say, yeah, well, how can the defense allow to score in both Super Bowls, gave up the lead with less than 3 minutes left in the game? Well, who the hell went down the field and
Exactly.
how can you argue with that? If the defense is so great, why at the end of the game do they allow touchdowns for the other team to go up, for New England to go up?
Yeah, now you would have an argument if that was the Seattle defense and what they did to the Denver Broncos. That's when you would have an argument. But
Yeah,
when
that was ugly.
but when the Patriots are up 14-10 and Eli has to drive them down and score a touchdown to win the game, you don't have an argument. Damn, the Vikings got
one
Bateman.
throw in that play, in that drive.
Yeah.
It wasn't just one throw. He had a one that's really underrated. You never see to Steve Smith on the right sideline.
Yes,
on a
because that
third
was
down.
what.
Or was that a
Yeah,
fourth
that was
down?
that was a 3rd and 11, I believe. It was a 3rd and 11, and he completed that. That was after the big catch, correct?
It was clutch as
right
shit.
before.
Yeah, it was like after that big catch, it was like 3rd down, and he hit that Steve Smith thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, the Vikings are just stacking up on receivers. They got Bateman. Oh wait, no, that's the
did
Ravens.
they?
My bad.
No, they're the
Ravens.
Ravens.
My bad.
I was just about to say, man, that is man.
I'm out here giving wrong information.
No, you're good, man. It happens sometimes. I mean, I'm looking here, and I think this is actually very interesting. It's Joe Judge talking on Kadarius Toney, and he's stating that the skill, and he's in this note, he's talking about the injury offseason questions. He says the skill in the person has to add up. I guess the Giants vetted Kadarius Toney all the way back to high school, where he was recruited by Jeremy Pruitt, who's now a senior assistant with the New York Giants.
I didn't even know that.
Okay.
I didn't know that
Right.
either.
That works.
He came over from Tennessee. He was the head coach over there.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. And he says Judge is very particular with who fits here, and he feels that he was the best fit.
Well, he should be. He's a culture guy. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No,
And also,
Sean
Spencer. Sean Spencer was in Penn State, but Micah Parsons was there. And my thinking was, if they got the inside on what kind of kid he is, one way or the other. So I was thinking, like, if you see him make Micah Parsons, Sean Spencer, I think his defensive line coach, gave him the deed. So they went back. Maybe that's all you need to know. Maybe Dallas got another problem child.
Yep.
I think it was like whatever that they drafted. Us as fans, like the ones that really pay attention, was gonna feel confident because we know that Joe Judge is that type of guy that dots his I's, he crosses his T's. He's going to make sure that he goes through every page of their high school, college, injury records and everything to make sure that we're good to get this guy. So
you got it.
Yeah, that just made me more confident. That just made me more confident about this guy.
and you know something? I'm gonna read y'all these 2 quotes really quick. One from Joe Judge, and the other one is from Dave Gettleman. So, excuse me, they're actually both from Joe Judge. I apologize. So, this one from Joe Judge has to do with the Eagles swapping with the Cowboys. Simply put, which I agree, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Simple. I like it. I'll take it. And then he says, Joe Judge states, Chris Pettit met with Kadarius Toney at the Super Bowl and had a long face-to-face meeting with him about potentially bringing him to the Giants. So they've been scouting him. We just didn't know about it. We're all focused on Devontae Smith, these edges that they were doing extensive research on, and they were completely looking somewhere else. I mean, not completely, but they had someone doing some work that had a history with Kadarius Toney. And it ended up working out. And you gotta like that for the Giants. I liked how the Giants did it. I already said it twice in this live stream. I want the Eagles. I want the Eagles. I want the Eagles. I want the Eagles.
They've already embarrassed themselves enough.
They are going. No, the Giants are going to sweep the Eagles. Now it's not going to be no 40-point blowout like what you were saying earlier. But you're gonna like when you look at the game, you're gonna look at it and you're gonna be like, yo, the Giants are dominating the Eagles. Now it's probably only gonna be like a 10-point game or something like that, but you're gonna
Yo,
look at it and be like, they
now we
was
don't got to
never
rely
in
on
it.
Evan Ingram. We don't got to rely on Evan Ingram now to win the game.
No.
Exactly.
And you know what? It's the way that I'm thinking about it here is that even though they selected Devontae Smith, former Heisman Trophy winner, press him at the edge. Press him. Put James Bradbury on him. He has some speed on him. If that doesn't work out, put a Dory
Hey,
Jackson
listen,
on him.
I'm not
Lock
going to
him in.
trash talk Devontae Smith. Pressing him.
Oh,
is
I'm not
dangerous.
either.
I'm not, but the biggest thing that I say is it's not about Devontae Smith. It's more so about Jalen Hurts because I'm also like an Oklahoma fan. So I've seen Jalen Hurts play in his last season. He's not a thrower of the ball. Now he's a winner. He knows how to figure things out to win, kind of like how Tim Tebow was. But he's not a thrower of the ball. Like he's not going to be able to pinpoint,
He's like Dak
Devontae.
Prescott.
Yeah, kind of like that. Like he's not going to be able to hit these guys right on the mark. He's gonna find a way to try to win the game, but he's not that guy to, dot you up like Drew Brees, like they got on the TV right now.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like for me, it's not even a Devonta Smith issue for me. They could have gone whichever route they wanted to go. I still would have wanted blood with the Eagles. I've been wanting blood with the Eagles, but I definitely do think that right now we're gonna have to see how this division plays out. And I get Cowboys fans feeling confident, because they're getting Prescott back, and obviously they're making some moves on the defensive side.
Well, they better hope Logan Ryan stays away from Prescott.
Exactly. And I'm gonna say something to y'all, which I thought it was the funniest thing. I got attacked on Twitter by a couple Washington fans the other day. Y'all may not agree with me, and that's fine. But I personally do think that the Giants have a better overall defense than the Washington football team.
I'm not sure. I think their
No.
scheme's better. I think they got a better scheme. I'm not sure about.
That's
overall
just me
No.
though.
Yeah, no,
Because I think if you
no.
remove Chase Young from that situation, they're not doing what they did last year
But
at all.
but that front line is really beast mode. Now, what I will say is that the Giants have a better overall team than everybody in the division.
Yeah.
They have a better
Yeah.
overall team because if we was to look at it, if we was to really ask people who has the first ranked defense, most people would say Washington. Who has the second ranked?
Washington, yeah.
The Giants. All right. Who has the first ranked offense? You'll probably say Dallas. Who has the second ranked offense? Probably the Giants on paper. When you're looking at the special teams, our special teams was, elite last year. Graham
the
Gano.
last few games are kind of slacked up.
Yeah, they kind of slack, but they were still overall throughout the year they were still like kind of elite, opposed to not the Redskins, Washington and Dallas, and the Eagles aren't even in there. And then when we're looking at the quarterbacks, hey, who's the first quarterback? They'll probably say Dak Prescott. Who's the second? It's going to be Daniel Jones. So at
Some
every
people
mark,
say Fitzpatrick because they're haters.
I've
yeah,
had people
Ryan
tell me Jalen
Fitzpatrick.
Hurts.
Yeah,
I'm being serious. I've had people tell me Jalen
we'll
Hurts. I'm not
see.
even
I mean, anything's possible, but I'd have to wait.
But I
I'd have
also
to
said
see
I'm not
that.
sold on Jalen Hurts either. But that's
Jalen
just me.
Jalen Hurts is not the guy for Philly of how that city is. He's not for Philly.
I was saying earlier, I don't think that he's the guy for Philly, man.
Yeah.
I like
really
his
don't.
attitude.
And
Like I like
Oh, yeah.
the way he carries himself. I like that.
but
Well, what is
at the same
but
time,
what are the Eagles doing
their
about
head
their
coach
offensive
kind of
line?
weirds me out too. Like,
Listen, I'm
that's
not
what
going
I
to
was
judge that
saying
either
earlier.
because
Like,
we were
I
being
thought
Joe Judge's
it might
team
have made.
last year. What's up?
What's
No,
up?
what happened?
No, I don't.
Oh no,
know.
I
You
was.
get quiet.
Oh yeah. Well, I was
Oh,
asking
sorry.
about the Eagles' offensive line. I was like, what are they doing with the offensive line? Because didn't Jason Kelsey isn't he retiring? Like, I don't know the 100%
I
about
think
the
he's
Eagles,
coming back.
but like overall, just that offensive line was terrible towards the end of the season.
It was. And that's what Giants Opinion Sports and I were talking about earlier. But I had mentioned it to him, saying that I could have saw them go the offensive line route just because we saw how many times they were sacked last year. Whether that
Mhm.
was Carson Wentz, whether that was Jalen Hurts, and I get that they had injuries on there. You made a great point, Giant Opinion Sports, that they did sign, of offensive tackle fairly recently. I don't think it was last year's draft,
It was the
but
year
maybe the
before
year
Dillard.
before. Yeah, Andre Dillard. But it's like even with that, that's one player. You have Jason Peters, who should retire at this point. I think he's almost
I think he's
39.
done. He's done.
Mhm.
And it's like, see, and look, this is another issue too. This is my issue with teams like Green Bay. This is my team. This is my issue with teams like the Bengals, where it's like they kind of avoid the needs of what they should get. Let's be real. The Bengals should have went with Penny soon. They didn't. We'll see how
Yeah,
that
they
pays
went with
out.
Chase.
But the Packers don't even take a wide receiver. They go and take a cornerback at 29.
Who'd they take?
Like they took Eric Stokes out of Georgia.
Mm,
Oh. Mm.
mm.
Not a bad prospect, but you would think that the day of the draft, your MVP quarterback is upset with you. Don't you think maybe a good way of kind of getting on his good side is to go
I don't
get him
think
a
they
Nah.
weapon?
care. I
Nope.
don't think they
Nope.
care.
I don't
Nah.
think they care
Nope.
either, but it's like they should have gotten one last year. They got Jordan Love when
Nah.
they
I
could have
wouldn't.
traded up to get someone else.
If I was the Packers, yeah, no, I would definitely not draft a wide receiver in
If
this space. Like
if
since he
Tony
said
or
he's out,
If Tony was there,
yes.
I would.
Since Aaron Rodgers said he was out, I was like, all right, let me build this team so that Jordan Love can be the one to step in. But I don't really know why Aaron Rod. Well, I understand why he's mad, but remember, this was the same thing that he went through because
Yep.
he got
Yep.
drafted in, and then Brett Favre, he went to the NFC Championship game. So I mean,
Mhm.
this is not new to what the Packers do. They draft their quarterback like years before they actually let the
Smart.
quarterback go. So I mean, that is very smart. So I don't know why he's like, oh man, I want to get out of here. Like you should have seen this coming.
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is, he's got so many years on his contract. He's kind of forced to play it out. That's what the Packers do.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that, and you're definitely right as well. And honestly, I get what y'all are saying, but we don't know how long Aaron Rodgers is going to be there. He may be there for another year, but even if he's only there for another year, wouldn't you want to get some weapons to help your new quarterback coming in? Because I mean,
Mm,
I don't know. I don't watch Packers games. I like Devontae Adams, but one thing that I keep seeing that comes up is their fans complaining about wide receivers. But it seems, at least to me, they get pretty good talent, whether that's undrafted or in the late rounds. Like they got Robert Tunyon. Who was the other one? Their wide receiver, Alan Lazar. I believe he was
yeah.
undrafted, or if not, he was a late round pick.
But that's
Um,
but that's what the problem. That's where the problem comes in of when you have such a talented quarterback. Because when you
Yeah.
have such a
mhm,
talented quarterback, he's supposed to, especially when he's soaking up so much of the money, he's supposed to mask everything that you are lacking in to still
Yeah.
get
yep.
wins. As talented as Aaron Rodgers is, you can throw anybody out there and he's going to make them look good. Kind of how Patrick Mahomes is. We're going to see how good Patrick Mahomes is once this deal that he just signed really sets in because he's not going to have the weapons like he had, with Tyreek Hill and McCarr,
No.
yeah, and like Kelsey and everything like that. But that's what the organization thinks. They say, hey, we're giving you all this money. You should be able to make anybody on the outside look good, and we'll just build on the defense and we'll try to build the offensive line for you. But that's what you're going to get because you're soaking up the money.
You don't have a choice. If your
Yeah,
quarterback's taking up 25% of your cap, you're
yeah,
losing a tackle and you're losing a wide receiver because they can't afford
yes,
it. We saw the
hmm
same stuff with Eli. As soon as Eli signed
yes,
his contract, once
hmm
our guys were expired and we had to start casually, casually cutting them, we saw it. We saw what it is. That's why it's almost better nowadays, I think. Keep young quarterbacks, just cycle them in
Yeah.
with their rookie
yeah,
deals and actually just
yeah.
paying these
Every
guys
5 year,
$50 million a year. It's insane. Yeah, every 5 years,
every 5 year, every 5 year.
draft a
That's
guy.
why that's why one thing where they mad at Daniel Jones. Oh, he's not. He's never gonna be an elite quarterback. I'm not looking for an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
I got into an argument with a guy probably like 5 months ago on YouTube. I was like, "Yo, if we get Daniel Jones at $30 million a year, that's going to be a steal." He's like, "Oh, I don't want a $30 million a year quarterback." I was like, "Yes, you are."
Yeah,
And
you
right
do.
now,
You're gonna get one
Dak
Because you
regardless.
can afford that tackle. You can afford that wide
Exactly.
receiver with it. It works out one way
Exactly.
or
If
the other.
if you're able to sign Daniel Jones to $30 million a year, you know how good that team around him is going to be, and you know how good just overall the Giants are going to be. Like, you don't want a number one, number two elite type quarterback because then they have to fill in holes. You see what
And
Russell Wilson did.
goodbye
He,
Super Bowl.
mhm,
Yep, you are right.
You get the
Yep.
playoffs every year.
But
You get the playoffs every year. A couple of exciting games, but
yeah, but you'll never win a Super Bowl because Russell Wilson won that Super Bowl and he went to a Super Bowl in his second and third year. When he signed that big contract, they was in rebuild mode. Now he still got them
yep,
to the playoffs, but what happened? He was still running for his life. He still didn't have a running game, and that defense, subpar. But now he's in that same situation because he took all that money. He's supposed to mask everything, and he can't.
you know what happens is you run into a stacked ass team and they got a rookie quarterback. They got a quarterback on a rookie deal.
You're not even lying there. But
When's the last time a
look, what
maxed
I
out
want.
quarterback won a Super Bowl? When's the last time that happened?
I don't think it's been a long time. I don't
Because you
think
can't
it's
say
happened.
Brady. He's always hooking like
No, it was.
He's always
I
taking
I don't
deals.
think I don't think it's been one in the last 20 years because everybody when they won, they've been on like a rookie deal. I think probably the only one,
Eli the last time.
Eli. Yeah, I'm about to say maybe Eli. Yeah,
Maybe,
maybe Eli because Tom Brady always took pay cuts and he got majority of them. Aaron Rodgers won him on his rookie deal. Then that's when he got the big money.
Yeah.
Probably Drew Brees. No, Drew Brees. Yeah, but Drew Brees didn't set records. He was a free agent.
Yeah,
Joe
nah, he was
Flacco.
a free
Joe
agent.
Flacco.
No, Joe Flacco
Nah,
got the money after.
he got paid.
Yeah,
He got paid after.
he got paid after.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So I don't. It's been a long
it's probably
time.
Eli. Yeah, it's
Proof is kind
probably
of in the
Eli.
pudding. The
Yeah.
proof is there. Definitely winning formula.
Shit. But look, this is what I want to do. We're gonna close this out right here because we've been going out for a long time now. But
Alright,
if y'all
cool.
are free, if y'all want to talk some more football, I'm gonna be live streaming tomorrow for the day 2. I think that's at 7 p.m. If y'all are down, if y'all want to jump on, you're more than welcome to, and I'll send y'all the link in advance if y'all want to join. Today was kind of like a trial and error. We had some issues earlier, but I got that solved now. So now I know what I'm doing
Okay.
here. So
Alright,
yeah,
I
if
just,
y'all want to join that tomorrow, if not, we'll be here. You can always stop by whenever.
All right, yeah,
I'll be
I
there.
don't know.
I'll
Yeah,
try
I
and
don't
get
know
some of
how.
my guys from my channel over to the stream. I'll put out a
Yeah,
video.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
didn't.
I didn't really plan too much. I was just we'll just kind of wing it, you know.
Hey,
This is
that's
fun. I
hey,
don't care. This
hey,
is fun.
yeah, exactly. Like this is fun. I don't get to talk like sports and everything. I just work, got a child, got a wife. That's all I have really.
That's what
So
really matters. You got it made.
yeah, got a
Exactly,
family.
my
But
man. You
yeah,
set,
but
man.
Hit Squad, thanks a lot for inviting me into this.
Yeah,
I had a
bro. Always,
blast.
always.
I had a blast. Like I said, both of y'all keep on making the videos. Love listening to y'all, Giants opinion.
Yeah, I watch
You my
everybody your
guy.
videos too, man.
All right, man. I'm
Yo,
out.
no problem. Easy 3. Keep that up. We'll see you tomorrow if you stop by. If not, we'll see you soon. Giant Opinion
All right.
Sports. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow. But if not,
I
again, we'll
appreciate
see
it.
you soon.
Tomorrow
All right,
I won't have my
appreciate
little
it.
stick figure guy here. I'll get on my real channel.
You're good, man.
Sorry,
All
that's
right,
horrible.
We'll see
Look,
you
that's been
tomorrow.
bothering me the whole stream, man. It's like, what the hell is
Yeah.
this?
Hey, it's a first time for everything, man. We'll be all good tomorrow. So no worries there.
Appreciate it, dude. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, bro, no problem. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, man. All right, buddy.
All
3.5
right,
hours. Holy moly.
I know, man. We did pretty good. I didn't think it was gonna work, but here we are, man.
Here we are.
Shoot.
All right, man. I'll see you
All
tomorrow.
right.
Appreciate it.
No problem. You be safe.